You're listening to the Boxing Coalition.
And he just broke the guy's heart. The guy had nothing left, and he knew he couldn't last another 4 or 5 rounds.
Ricky Wars just smashed his soul.
What it is, let's get it.
Fuck that, this your destiny, nigga. You hear
Let's
me?
get it.
Go kick his motherfucker.
Get that motherfucker in.
Let's see you do this. Little step back, bang, bang, bang. Little step back, bang, bang.
Bang, 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 bang. Try and stop it. Bang, bang. Here I come. Bang. You want to throw sometime? Bang.
Body shot. Boom, 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 boom. Go to the body. Kill that body. You took his nuts, now you gotta take his heart.
Yeah, take his whole soul away.
Yeah, get out of here, Dale. I'll see you later. Fight someone credible. Get out of here.
He was higher than a motherfucker. I'll tell you, he was stoned as fuck.
No, it's only a majority decision if there was an even score. There's no even score here. You're an official, right? You're an official of the state. Well, then you don't understand how to score.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable. The crowd here on Fuego.
He's ready to be whooped, man. He's ready to be whooped. He's ready to be whooped.
And Howard Foster has stopped it. Wow. That is going to be controversial.
But you really liked to stand toe-to-toe with him in the 12th round, even if you thought you won the fight. It was on. Did you like that? I love it.
Hello, and welcome to the Boxing Coalition, a place to discuss anything boxing. We have a rotating panel of hosts that consist of Chemo, Mao Alpha, Cam, Daniel Lim, and MV Chu. If you want to have your say, call in on Skype. Just add Box Coalition and get involved in the show.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Boxing Coalition. My name is Cam. I'm joined by my boy, my Scottish brother from another mother, MV Chu. How you doing, Chu?
My boy. What's up, Cam? How's it going?
Yeah, good man, good. Want to talk the Wilder situation, because I know you were kind of, you changed your mind halfway through the week, but we'll get to that. Also, I'm joined by Ari Gold Boss. How's it going, Ari?
I'm good. Good, Cam. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Alright, let's get into jumping deep into the Wilder Stiverne fight. Chu, first, what made you change your pick towards the end of the week, and what did you think of the fight?
In a word, Nyota. Some of the regular listeners might know who Nyota is. Nyota was so sure that Wilder was going to win, it actually made me question my pick of Stiverne. So I went back and I watched some Wilder fights. Then I kind of discovered that he's got a pretty good jab. I thought that Stiverne, the past fights out to him, was a bit chubby. He's got stamina issues. And I think his power is overrated. You know, everybody talks about what he done to Ariola's nose. But he didn't knock Ariola out in the first fight, even though he fucking landed everything but the kitchen sink. And in the second fight, he caught him with a temple shot, which could happen to anyone. So I just kind of thought that he's got a pretty good chin. I don't think Wilder's going to knock him out, so I predicted Wilder 12th round decision, and it came true, man. Fucking good start to the year. I'm on fire at the minute.
It's a bit early, Chu. You need to calm down, man. You know, this boxing game is a long game. But Ari, how did you see the fight? You went with your boy Stiverne, and I can't really doubt you, man, because I was going for Stiverne a few weeks ago until I spoke to Daniel Lim, and he made some points that changed my mind. So I'll dish up your crow first. What do you think of the fight?
He's not my boy. But yeah, man, it was a decent fight. Obviously, no one expected it to go to points really. Other than actually, I shout out Hatman. I don't know if you guys know him, Hatman on YouTube. He's my favorite YouTube boxing guy. So he actually said Wilder on points. I don't think anyone else said it, but yeah, it was a decent fight. Other than that, Wilder, yeah, impressed. He showed us that he's not just a hype job, and he did what we wanted him to do. He proved himself. So there's nothing you can really say about that. You know, respect to him for that. But I did pick Stiverne. I thought Stiverne would lay a trap for him, but obviously he didn't. So That's how it goes.
I said Wilder on points. Maybe I should start my own YouTube channel.
I don't remember that.
You deserve your own YouTube channel.
You get a little bit of success and you start to rest on your laurels, Ari. Come on, man. That's a cool start for you. As Albert Aguirre says in the chat, hey, you need to step your game up for the next round of fights, mate.
Now, it's true, though, if you look at Chu's Predictions League prediction, he did get 30 points for that fight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Ooh, big 30. Get ready.
But Chu, you forgot to put the Willie Monroe pick in, even though I phoned you like 2 hours before the fight to remind you.
I thought that whole card was cancelled because Hank Lundy.
No, the Lundy and Petro fight was cancelled, but the other fight still went on.
You mean they had one fight on?
No, well, they had the undercard and the main event because the Lundy fight wasn't the main event.
Was it not?
No. The
and
main
they had
event.
Adams. They had the guy that Monroe beat.
Adams was on the undercard, and Willie Monroe and Brian Vera was the main event. But anyway, we'll get back to that. My question quickly to you guys is, I had this conversation with Kevin Horn and Black Ski Mask Joe after the fight. Kevin thought it was a boring fight, mostly boring, and Joe thought it was a brilliant fight. And I kind of stood in the middle on the fence that I thought maybe the 5-6 rounds were interesting, but as they both got a bit tired and they started to gas, the second half of the fight was a bit poor for me. Like, would you guys agree, or do you guys side with Joe, or do you guys side with Kevin Horn?
On you go, Ari.
I'm in between, I guess, man. Yeah, the second half was a bit poor. The quality of the punches and the output definitely dropped on both sides, you would say. Wilder started going into defensive mode more and, doing what he had to do to win the fight. What Wilder did, I've got no problem with it. You know what I mean? He didn't take risks. He just used his jab. He used his long length. And Stiverne just looked too slow out there. So really, I don't know. I don't want to hear the excuse that I'm hearing about Stiverne. Those guys here and apparently saying he was dehydrated and all this stuff. I don't want to hear that. Drink some water. You need someone to put water in your mouth.
When I first heard that, I thought that was nonsense because he's a heavyweight. It's not like, like.
I don't know, man. Joe's trying to cop pleas for him. Yeah. So I don't know.
It's all that ragu.
Is that dehydrated him?
Everybody knows that a spicy pasta can dehydrate the fuck.
What about you, Chu? Was it an interesting fight for you, or was it slightly boring?
I loved it. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen a lot of shit getting talked about this fight. I loved the fight, and I mean, if you're wanting multiple knockdowns and shit, the first fight that was on that card was fucking immense. So if you're comparing it to that, then you've been a bit spoiled. It was never going to be that. But I loved the fight, man. I was tense. That's a good thing about heavyweights, man. Anything can happen. Anybody could get knocked out at the click of the fingers. I love the fight. I think Deontay Wilder is a beast. I'm going to call him the Wilder Beast or the Wilder Beast. Because
boom, boom.
He's established the jab. And it's like a Lennox Lewis in his prime jab. It's just telephone pole, as Al Bernstein would say in the commentary. It's just a big fucking barge pole. Bang, bang.
He's still raw, though. There's a lot of things he needs to work on, man. Like,
man, I don't even see where people are saying that. He gets hit sometimes. Wow.
He was going back with his head up sometimes as well, man.
I think punchers get hit and they make mistakes and they get wild. And if you take that away from him, what's he going to be left like? You're going to be left with a boring fighter, and we don't want boring fighters. We want exciting fighters who get hit. And he takes risks. Like when in the second round, the end of the second round, where he knocked down Stiverne. Really, Stiverne saved by the bell, fell into him.
He didn't fall into him. He had visions of his NFL days.
Exactly, that was a football tackle.
He tackled him. he was on his way down. He tackled him.
You know what I liked about it? He hurt the guy, and Wilder just swung at him like windmills. It was like a kid at Christmas just opening a present. He was like, come on, get it. Technique out the window. I like that. That's the fucking enthusiasm for the game that maybe someone who's been boxing since they were 10 wouldn't have. all these fucking drills take away all the fucking excitement they have for it. Man, when he hurts a guy, he gets excited. He's like, let me at him. He's like, scrappy do. And I love that. And I was talking shit about Wilder as little as 6 weeks ago. I thought he was overrated. But hey, things change quickly in boxing. I just think he's a problem. And if they're talking about Tyson Fury next, I think he knocks out Tyson Fury. There I say it. You can quote me on that.
Wow, big statement, Chew. Big statement.
Wait, sorry, Chew, say that again. What did you just say in the last bit?
I think Deontay Wilder, should they ever fight Tyson Fury, he would knock out Tyson Fury. Yeah,
that would be the only chance he has. He would have to hope that Fury's got glass, because I see Fury outboxing him, to be honest.
Well,
similar size. I think Fury's got even longer arms. Wilder's got a puncher's chance now, in my opinion. Because Fury in there with Stiverne was basically like a slower Chisora in there. You know what I mean? And Fury would do what he did to Chisora. And he would do it better. He would do it, yeah, I think, the way he looked in there, I'd say he's a poor man's Chisora, man.
No, that's hateful.
I'll say it. He was looking bummy in there.
I disagree. I think Chisora is well past his sell-by date. What's Chisora's best performance? And I mean,
Vitali loss.
A loss, exactly.
I knew Chew was going to do that. I knew Chew was going there.
Exactly.
He set you up. He set you up there,
I know
Raymond.
he set me up, but I went with it.
Rounds to 4 loss.
I'll still take a Vitali loss.
Would you?
Yeah, man.
A fucking glass-kneed 38-year-old Vitali. One fucking leg in the politician's cabinet. The other leg in the boxing gym. You're taking him over.
I'll take it. That's an undisputed champ.
He was. He's fucking Lennox Lewis's fucking boy. I say he's fucking.
Put him into retirement.
All right, guys.
Lennox Lewis is already retired. That's what made that win even the more sweeter.
All right, guys. Let me go to Leon and get his opinion. Me and Leon had a lot of banter over the weekend. Like, he kept calling Wilder Bambi legs, and I kept calling Stiverne muffin top, and we were just having a lot of back and forth, man. It was a good banter. But Leon, what did you think of the fight? And the question I asked you and Ari earlier about, do you lean on the side of the fight being very exciting or boring, or do you sit in the middle somewhere?
I think firstly, Chew needs to get in contact with Lennox Lewis and apologise for that. Wilder's got a jab like Lennox Lewis comment, because that was Wilder's jab. No, he hasn't. Behave yourself. I think you're a little bit overexcited tonight.
Who were you picking, Liam?
I picked Stiverne,
didn't you?
And I got let down badly by the muffin power. Fuck off.
The crows are circling around Leon's house.
This is going to be like Game of Thrones tonight. There's going to be a lot of crows. A lot of crows.
Yeah, I just think I was with Kevin about the fight. After 3 rounds, you knew Wilder was going to win. Stiverne was like a fucking tortoise in there. He had no pace. It was such a poor performance on his behalf. But Wilder did what he had to do, so I'm not going to shit on him. He impressed a bit. But I think I'm with Ari. I think Peter Fury's got a lovely plan for Wilder if it comes to it. And I think Fury would beat him.
No.
Yeah, well, that's what but he did well. He impressed. I don't want to be too salty, Cam, do I?
Don't get too salty. We've had complaints. We've had complaints, Liam.
The good thing about salt is it prevents cramp. That's my excuse.
Well, it fucks up your blood pressure as well, though.
I'm trying to help the listener.
No, he did. He impressed. I mean, that's a good step up. So to me, it's like he's got a record of 1 fight, 1 win, because all those fights before don't count. But this is him making his march. But I'm sure Vlad was at home thinking, "Yeah, I got this one. I want him quickly." Because he'll get knocked out by Vlad.
That's what Vlad does. He gets guys before they're ready. It's almost like
a plan, isn't it?
Yep, opportunist.
Yeah, but I think Stiverne was a big disappointment. And I don't know what excuses he make. I don't care about his excuses. That was poor performance. I'll give him an F.
F for fat.
An F for fat.
Okay, guys.
There's still a ton of flaws.
What flaws?
Moving back with his hands down, not very accurate with his punching, flat-footed for a guy who's meant to be an athlete. That's 3 I can remember from watching the fight.
Yo, he's 6'7". What are you guys expecting? Fucking Michael Jackson in there?
He's a fucking basketball player, isn't he? He's meant to be light on the feet, good on their feet, good movement. I didn't see that. But the moving back with his hands down, that's a dangerous move in heavyweight boxing. Moving back in a straight line.
If you can get away with it, why not?
Someone his size would definitely give him issues, though. Someone his size would definitely give him issues, because you can lean back against smaller guys with smaller reach, but as soon as you get a guy that's just as tall as you, and if you're leaning back, he can still catch you with a hook, then it's going to be interesting.
Stiverne was able, even though Stiverne was so slow, he's still able to, at some points, he's able to close the distance on him when he's stepping backward. So anyone who's got, same height, it's only one step and then you're on him, aren't you? So yeah, he did well. Congratulations. The Americans must be very happy. First heavyweight in how many years? But I think he loses to Fury. I think Povetkin would beat him, and I think Vlad would beat him.
I just want to apologise to every American listening for the comments of Leon. They are no way associated with myself. I love America and I love American boxing.
I like American boxing.
Why are you hating then? I sense the salt in you.
I'm always a little bit salty, but I'm not going to get overexcited. He did very, very well, but I'm not going to start riding the train because of that one victory. I don't think I'm hating. I'm just being,
Yeah, you're being objective.
All right, guys.
I'm not being objective.
No, he says you're being objective.
You're giving your opinion.
Yeah. My salty opinion.
All right, guys, let me get to my boy.
Long live the king of all kings. And we say, long live the king! Long live the king!
What up, what up, what up?
What's Gucci, though, boys?
What's Gucci King J?
Oh, man, play the crow.
You want the crow? All right.
Fucking piece of shit bird. Man, that fucking fight was horrible, man. It was. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just because it was a heavyweight fight, and I expected fucking monster shots or a knockdown at least, man. Fuck, man, that shit was. I don't know. That shit was fucking horrible. I imagine like a fucking huge Rigondeaux in there, fucking making fucking plays boring as fuck. I don't know, man. I didn't like it, but you know what? It's not fucking Wilder to fucking blame. It's Stiverne, man. I don't know, man. It was just a horrible fucking fight plan. I don't even know what the fuck he was thinking. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. I thought for a minute when he was fucking setting the trap for Wilder, throw back, or a hook, something, man. I don't know, man. It was a fucking trash performance from him. I didn't really like the fight that much. Maybe because I fucking picked Stiverne, right?
That's probably the main reason, King J, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe that's the main reason.
I think King J's got a point. In the corner, Don House, Stiverne's trainer, you should have told him different advice. You should have said something like, "Listen, if you win this fight, we'll go to McDonald's. We'll buy you a fucking cheeseburger."
Holy fuck.
We'll give you a little incentive, a little fucking win bonus. Just go out there and fucking get this cunt. But it was plodding along. King J, what did you think of fucking Deontay Wilder, though? You're not impressed, man?
Yeah. You know what? I am, man. I didn't think he had it in him, like, boxing skill-wise to it wasn't a master plan, you know, because there was a lot of flaws in it, dude. But it was a plan, and it fucking worked. It wasn't just going in there and just fucking bashing this guy's head. You know, there was a lot of flaws, man. But he had a game plan, and it fucking worked. It fucking worked. It didn't. I honestly thought it was gonna take a lot more to fucking beat Stiverne the way he did, man. You know, I thought Stiverne was the better fucking boxer, and fucking look at that shit went right out the fucking window the first 3 rounds. Yeah, he had a good game plan, man. The only thing I didn't like, man, is that he leaves himself wide open like that, man, and he leaves himself like that against the fucking Klitschko, and the fucking left hook is putting him down.
Nah, I don't know.
Yo, King J, I've got a question for you. Today, the interview, Wilder saying that he hurt his right hand in the 3rd or the 4th round. Do you believe him? And do you think that was like him? Do you think that's making him making an excuse for not being able to knock out Stiverne?
Yeah, I don't believe that one bit, because I didn't see any fucking hints of that happening in the fight. Like, he never was, like, you know, like when Lomachenko did fucking break his hand, he was literally fucking fighting with one hand, and he would still punch with it, and you could tell right away it was hurting him. I just think that's just so people could be like, oh, well, see, there it is. That's why he didn't fucking knock him out or knock him down.
Yeah, I'm kind of, yeah. It's funny because when I was watching the fight, I was speaking to some friends, and I sent them a message, and I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Wilder hurt his hand, because the power he was hitting Stiverne, and it was blocking off his glove and off his arms. I thought that's just the easy way to get injured. And then now that he's come out with this, I could maybe like believe him, but like during like the last 4 or 5 rounds, he was still throwing the right hand quite a lot.
Yeah, that's exactly why I don't believe it, Cam. Because I think in the 11th round, he was fucking in one of the moments, and he was literally throwing fucking bombs. He was trying to fucking knock him out. So I don't believe that shit one bit.
Yeah, I think he got back and watched the fight back and realised he should have knocked him out like an elite heavyweight would have done. You know, all the top guys over the years, if they'd had Stiverne hurt, like he had him hurt in those rounds, they'd have got him out of there. You name him, they would have got him out of there.
How tall is Klitschko, Vladimir Klitschko?
6'5".
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I think Klitschko would be too much for him, man. He'd be too much for him. He's probably a fucking little stronger than him. And he's just, dude, his ring generalship and he's just way fucking smarter than Wilder, man. He's way smarter than Wilder, man, and I don't know, man. But he did good, man, and I just think this was a fucking a make it or break it fight for both of them, man. Whoever fucking won this fight, it was a lot more for Wilder, but if Stiverne won this, man, dude, he would have got a fucking shot at Klitschko, or he would have just got bigger paydays, man, and, you know, because he didn't talk a lot of shit because he said he was going to fucking fuck him up, and he would have got a lot of recognition, man. And I don't think he fucking took that into consideration when he was in the ring with them.
Yeah,
I don't really think he did.
People in the chat saying that Vlad is 6'6" and Wilder's around the same height, 6'6", 6'7", so they're quite even for height.
Yeah, that would be a real good fight, man. But I don't know, man. I think Klitschko's too much, man.
Klitschko's like 250 pounds, though, eh?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a lot, probably fucking, that's 25 pounds on each leg that fucking is missing. Oh, man. But, yo, shout out to fucking Lundy, that fucking fat piece of shit that didn't make weight. It's fucking horrible, man. He should fucking get banned 3 fights.
Yo, hopefully, King J said, Kevin Horn said he's going to jump on in a bit, and him and me disagreed about that whole situation. I won't go into it now, but hopefully if he jumps on in a bit, then him and me can discuss it, because he thought that Petrov should have fought, took the extra 10 grand and fought, Petrov should have took the extra 10 grand and fought Lundy, even though he was massively overweight, and I said that he did the right thing by not fighting him, so see what people in the chat think when we get to that.
I think you're right, Cam. I don't think you should have.
Yeah, I think you're right too, but if you want to
lose your own for that shit.
Exactly, and like he didn't even try to make weight. He was 4 pounds over. So what's he gonna fight? You know what I mean? He's gonna be big on fight night, and I'll get back. I'll get to it when Kev jumps on. But let me get to someone else.
Kenny Bayless is another fucking black.
That's the wrong one.
Ski mask, glove, tuck the thing. Ski mask, swing. I still got the black ski mask to throw on.
I messed up your intro, Joe. Sorry. How you doing, Joe?
You know, that night wasn't my night. You know, what can I say? Deontay Wilder. You know, he was a better man that night. But I just gotta go back, look at the tape. You know, what else can I say?
Yo, guys.
Hey, Bermane, why didn't you drink any water, man?
You know, I was trying to watch the weight. You know, the spaghetti, you know, it kind of retains a lot of water, but I mean, what can I say?
This fucking lack of fucking fat, lazy motherfucker.
Hey, man.
Hey, Bermane, I thought you were going to catch a case, man.
You know, Please was around. I didn't want to go to jail right after, you know. I mean, tonight's not the night to make excuses, you know. Yeah, Deontay won, but I don't know. I just got to go back and look at the tape.
Yo, Bermane, your face looked like a bit of a pumpkin after the fight. Has it settled down a bit? Are you back to normal?
Ain't nobody hurting me. Ain't nobody hurt me, man. I mean, his punches, man. I walked straight through them, man. You saw me talking shit. He ain't hurt me, man.
All right. Obviously, Black Ski Mask Joe is sitting next to Bermane. Yo, Bermane, can you give Ski Mask Joe the phone back, please?
You know, yeah, why not? You know, he used to be the champ. You know, so from one champ to another champ, you know, here you guys go.
Yo, hello?
Yo, Joe, what's happening, man? Thank you for getting Stiverne on the phone.
Yeah, man, you know that. I mean, he's kind of bummed out, you know, but we'll let it be, man. We'll discuss it later, not in front of his presence.
Yeah, leave the room, Joe. But I think I got to serve you some crow. Joe, you were adamant that Stiverne was going to win the fight. I mentioned you. I don't know if you listened to the start of the show. I mentioned you in reference to you loving the fight and Kevin Horn not liking the fight. Have you watched the fight back? And if so, or even if you haven't, do you still feel the same? Did you really enjoy the fight?
You know what, man? Like my boy Stiverne says, I just gotta go back and look at the tape. But you know, that night I was happy, man. I don't know about you guys. I just saw chances where Stiverne was really putting in work. It was like little spurts, but I don't know, man. I mean, it was a good fight, man. Deontay Wilder still didn't prove anything to me. I mean, other than him just being tall and like controlling the ring. But other than that, man, I mean, he won. It's cool, but he ain't gonna beat no Vladimir Klitschko. I could tell you that right now. He's just keeping that belt warm. He's also a tourist to that belt.
I disagree. I think Vladimir time is up. I think he's
Nah. I think if he fights for the WBC belt, man, you better believe he's gonna be in tip top shape for that shit, man. He's probably gonna win that belt and just retire, and then he'll be undisputed heavyweight champ, man, holding down all the belts hostage. And then after that, that's when the heavyweight's going to be exciting. The belts are going to just split apart just like the Dragon Balls right after they make their damn wish. And then we're going to have a new generation of heavyweights.
You know, the thing like Bermane Stiverne, he said in an interview during the Rios SantaCruz fight, he was doing an interview with Jim Gray, and he said he knew he was inside Deontay Wilder's mind because he can read his eyes. Well, he must read eyes like my boy Chemo picks fights because he got that completely wrong. and that just shows you that there's too much. Because I was reading on Twitter like, "Oh, Deontay Wilder looks nervous at the press conference." I just said that press conference was the best like I've ever seen. I just had everything, man. I had like sound bites, I had tension, I had the longest stare off ever. But it just goes to show you that all that is bullshit. And when it comes to the fight, you know, all that shit goes out the window and it's just about who can follow the game plan. And Deontay Wilder had the best game plan. And it's just a better fighter.
Yeah.
And all you guys who are eating crow need to fucking cut him some slack and give him some credit.
I'm giving him credit, man, but he's not beating no Vladimir. I'm telling you that right now. He could beat a Tyson Fury. I could see him beating a Tyson Fury. A Brian Jennings. I could see him beating that guy. Mike Perez for sure. But Vladimir Klitschko, that's like a whole different fucking level, man.
Joe, let me ask you a question. Say this injury is real and Deontay doesn't fight until maybe late summer. Do you think he'll fight? Do you think he'll fight a decent opponent, or do you think they'll get a few more cab drivers to maybe tune him up again?
Yeah, I think they'll probably give him a couple cab drivers. I think this is actually a good chance, since here in the United States, man, they're mentioning this victory all over the fucking place. The Spanish channels, fucking local channels. They're, man, ESPN, SportsCenter. Everywhere that you could think of, Facebook, man, god damn, there's like all this shit just because there's a new American heavyweight champion. I think they're gonna run with this. I think Al Haymon probably seen something. I know he's probably seen it before even this fight even happened. If Deontay Wilder wins, I'm pretty sure they'll probably put him in NBC. Give the public that don't know about him, that don't have cable, to get to know him, and build him up as a star there. Maybe give him like 3 fights. I don't think he's gonna fight no Vladimir Klitschko this year. I'd probably see it next year, like fall of next year or like summer of next year, where he does fight Vladimir Klitschko, and by that time, everybody will be like, "Whoa, this American heavyweight, man, he's knocking motherfuckers out. He's gonna kick this Russian guy's ass," Which he's not Russian, he's Ukrainian, but you know how Americans are ignorant,
Yep. But Joe, after the fight, you sent me some tweets of what Shannon Briggs was saying. Can you see them making that fight just because Shannon brings so much attention, and I think it's a relatively easy fight for Wilder, in my opinion.
Yeah, man.
So you can see that fight happening.
I could see it happening on NBC. I can't see that shit happening on Showtime, man. There'll be so much shit given to that motherfucking fight. Oh, Shannon Briggs is too old. Why the fuck people, But if it's on NBC, since a lot of people don't know about him, I could see them running with it. The last heavyweight champ of the world versus the new current American heavyweight champ, So I could see them running with that. But if they put it on Showtime where there's a little bit more hardcore boxing fans, this will be another fucking Danny Garcia versus Rod Salka type of fight.
Yeah, let me go around the panel. Chew, what's your thoughts? Who do you think Wilder will fight next?
I think it would be stupid to fight Fury next, even though that personally is what I would want him to fight, because that's a tough fight. I think they'll do what Joe said and he'll fight some kind of lower ranked, smaller guy that he can beat. Probably an American guy. Probably. I actually don't know. I have no idea, to be honest. I can't.
Rob Palmer in the chat mentioned Tarver. I think that's a makeable fight. I think, and a winnable fight for Wilder as well. So
he's a Haymon fighter, isn't he?
I think he is. To be honest.
Yeah. And they've got that. Who's that Eastern European guy? Is it Stilka or
Arthur Spilka?
Yeah, he signed to Haymon. But I think the Shannon the Cannon might get it.
Yeah, I think so.
It'll hype it up, won't it? It'll hype it up so much. I mean, he'll get body bagged, but it'll be a good, it'll be good for the press. He'll get that heavyweight belt talked about again even more if they're trying to build that popularity of the belt being back home.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, dude. If they put him up with Shannon Briggs, of course, to us boxing hardcore fans, it's a shit fight, but the way that fucking Shannon Briggs is like outspoken, he doesn't hold anything back. You know, he's always talking shit. Man, I wouldn't be too surprised if Vladimir just comes back and does a payback and just starts taunting Briggs everywhere he goes, starts training at where you know, toss a shoe at that fucker, go to his restaurants, you know, all sorts of shit. But
start stalking.
You know,
steal the wheels off his car.
Hell yeah, put a boot on his car, you know.
Can you imagine if fucking Shannon Briggs got that guy who was trolling Deontay Wilder for fucking months?
Charlie Z in his corner.
Yeah. Shannon Briggs has been trolling Klitschko, and it's just it'll be like two kind of trolls. It'll be like a tag team. I think you know, that's what Shannon Briggs is good for. He's good for a show. He's good for a spectacle. He's good for the entertainment side. But on the boxing side of it, it would just be a massacre. And you know, Deontay Wilder is still in development, but the heavyweight champion shouldn't be given development fights. He should be given tough fights every time, because I'm a romantic. That's meant to be the best belt in boxing, the WBC belt.
Mm-hmm.
The heavyweight belt.
He's had enough time developing. He's had 32 fights to develop. He's just got to go and fight now.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, dude, I can see it now, man. They probably will put him up against Shannon Briggs, you know? Shannon Briggs at the press conference, taking off his shirt, screaming, "Let's go, champ! Let's go, champ!" Hyping himself up, talking hella shit. But you know what? Enough of this shit, man. I was disappointed in Leo SantaCruz last night, man. I don't know if you guys were talking about him. What a fucking disappointment, man. This guy could have knocked this guy out. This is some fucking bullshit.
You got to be fair. He's a tough little bastard, that guy.
Nah,
he took
fuck
some shots, man.
Shit.
I'm, you know, he should have got him out of there, but the guy, you know, he had some heart. You got to give him that.
No,
I don't know if he was trying to give him exposure, probably because he was a friend or some bullshit. But man, nah, there was so many chances that Leo SantaCruz could have just went in there and just killed this guy, man. But I don't know. I think he just went like, you know, okay, I'm gonna let you do your thing, just because the fans been talking a lot of shit. Right. And then once past, like, what round did he knock him out? The 6th or 7th?
I think it was the 8th.
It's the 8th.
The 8th round. Yeah, I think that sounds about right, man. You know, because his last two opponents, I don't think they've been past more than what, the 4th round.
Leo SantaCruz's.
Yeah, his last two opponents.
No, he's gone 12 rounds in the last.
Yeah, Manuel Roman on the Floyd undercard, he knocked him out in the 2nd. But before that, he went 12 with Christian Maharez. He went 12 with Cesar Seido. So he has.
No, but the last guy that he fought, I know he knocked him out in the 2nd. But there was one fight. I think he fought one more time. The Mijares fight. I think that was like in the Canelo Angulo undercard, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I think he fought 3 times last year. But there was those last two fights. He all his fighters didn't last more than 4 rounds. I think he just wanted, just to show off a little bit, man. It's some bullshit.
Yeah, he can show off. He's fighting sparring partners.
He fought twice.
He don't want to fight the Wolves.
He fought twice in 2000.
He doesn't want Rickendall. He doesn't want Frampton. I can't stand SantaCruz right now. You know, I really can't stand him right now.
Same here, man. You know,
he's doing worse than.
I heard somebody was talking about the fight. Like, what would it take for you to fight Rickendall? And he said $3 million. You know, that's a fucking outrageous fucking figure, man.
Guy's never even headlined in his life.
You know, and then how the fuck are you gonna get $3 million to fight Guillermo Rickendall when your career high payday was $1 million? Come on,
because he's got Daddy Haymon, man. He's got Daddy Haymon. You know, when you're naming sons after your advisor manager, you know what's up.
Yeah, man.
He's like his pimp. Like Leo's,
that's his dad, man. That's his dad. When you're making $750,000 to fight a guy that you fight for free every week, then what can you say?
No, like I'm gonna defend Leo, man. I'm gonna defend Leo.
Fuck Leo.
Oh, how can you? This is gonna be good, Cam.
This is bullshit. But go on, I want to hear it. Go on, Cam.
Yeah, go on.
I'm not gonna defend his You have to put yourself in the guy's shoes. So he's getting offered this big amount of money to fight these guys. Like, Jesus Ruiz wasn't a bad fighter. Like I thought that was a decent fight. Like he came and he brought it to him. It's not like
I
he
agree. He came in there to fight.
Yeah.
Cam. Jesus Ruiz lost to a person with a record of 6-4.
You know what, man? This is bullshit, man. You don't see people naming kids after me, man. After a career high payday that I gave them after we do bank robberies,
The thing is, though, all the thing you guys are complaining about will put him into a position where he has to fight better people. Like he's gonna come into a situation now where he'll have to fight the best, or he'll have to take less amount of money because the networks are not going to put up for this for too long. They're not going to be paying him $750,000.
This is what's going to happen, man. They're going to pin him to the corner where you know what? He's just going to move up and fight Abner Mares. He's not going to want any piece of nobody in that weight class. He knows he doesn't want no Carl Frampton. He knows he doesn't want Guillermo Rigondeaux. So what he's gonna do? He's just gonna fucking vacate that belt and just move up. That's what's gonna happen, man.
I think it's the opposite. I think Mares should come back down. I think Mares.
One thing you said I can't let you get away with. You said the networks don't care. Well, he's about to go to NBC, and the networks ain't doing nothing. It's Haymon who's putting all that money in. So if Daddy Haymon wants to give him that money, Daddy Haymon will give him that money. There's nothing we can really do about it. The networks ain't got nothing to do with it. NBC are letting Haymon run with it.
Okay, I'm not the biggest. Okay, let me reply to that. I'm not the biggest Haymon fan, but look at the fights that have been announced recently.
Yeah, I hear that. But until I see SantaCruz in there with someone that we know and is someone that is credible, I don't want to hear it. The guy's irrelevant to me. He's a paper champ.
So if
he's a paper champ,
if SantaCruz,
he knows Frampton will give him that work. Rigondeaux will give him a lesson that Daddy Haymon's never given him in his whole life.
Okay,
even
so
maybe Quigg. I don't like Quigg.
If SantaCruz
I wouldn't mind Quigg either. Why can't he fight Quigg?
Okay.
Or even Kid Gallagher.
Or Galahad. Let Galahad school you.
Okay. So if SantaCruz,
there's enough good fighters in that division to not be fighting the standard of fighter he's been fighting.
Ridiculous. The guy's fighting his fucking his sparring partners, man.
I think you guys are being a bit salty.
Yep.
And
so we're supposed to sit around and watch sparring partner wars. Is that what we're supposed to watch? Why? You know what's funny? I actually haven't seen the fight. I'll say it. I didn't watch it.
Oh, you stepped through that shit, didn't you?
I slept through it like a baby. I'm not waking up at 4 a.m. for that bullshit. I'll put that alarm for Stiverne Wilder.
You didn't miss much.
I know I didn't miss much. That's why I didn't watch it.
But
anyway, I'll end this on this note that fuck Leo SantaCruz. He's a paper champ. It's official.
Yeah, take your salt.
I agree. See, back in the 1950s, there were Murderers Row. Leo SantaCruz has fought Graffiti Artists Row, Vandalism Boulevard, Petty Crime Avenue. This guy's just been given the softest touches.
There's enough good fighters in that division that he could be testing himself. Not, even some of the kind of Japanese. There's enough good fighters in that division. He should be fighting this level of people.
I agree, but I guarantee to you guys now that he will be fighting Mares next. I think because it'd be easier for them to make that fight. Like making a fight with Frampton, there's a lot more issues. Making a fight with Quigg, there's a lot more issues. The next fight will be him and Mares, I guarantee. And will that make you guys happy? Will you still be salty?
I'm salty with Mares anyway. So yeah, he's got to go back and get that Johnny out of his system. Even if he takes another beating.
If it's salty that we expect champions to fight top 15 opponents, then I'm Saxo.
No, I expect the same, but we're living in a situation now where the best are not fighting the best. And if you were a boxer getting paid a shitload of money to fight nobody, you would do it too. I guarantee you, Mari, if you were getting paid a shitload of money to fight nobody, you would do it.
I wouldn't.
I would.
Ari would.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe once in a while, but the guy's fighting sparring partner after sparring partner.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
His career is like a receding hairline. It's just going slowly backwards. Slowly backwards every time you see him.
Shout out to the Baldies.
He's had 10 more fights than Frampton, and Frampton's fought better guys than him.
But what I will say is, though, he's a very entertaining fighter to watch. He's the perfect undercard fighter.
You know what, man?
He's the taster. He's the
I think you're completely right about the whole receding hairline, man. If you think about it, he's fighting shit boxers, dude. And once all that hair is gone, all the fans are gone, man. And what's gonna happen? He's gonna try to do some Rogaine status and try to gain it back. It ain't gonna work, man. It's some bullshit.
All right, guys, is everyone finished about SantaCruz? Because I want to talk about the other undercard fight, which was very entertaining.
Woo! The Young Master.
I love that fight.
Yeah, I had to catch that one on Simbros.
You see,
that fight was the fight of the night.
It was a fight of the night.
That was a better fight than anything that happened in 2014.
No, actually, to be fair, I think the best fight that happened in 2014 was on ESPN2, with the undercard of Brian Vera versus Monroe. That one guy that got like completely rocked in the the second round?
Yeah, the second.
He looked like he did the stanky leg, and they came back and knocked the other guy out. Oh, that shit was pretty awesome.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit, Joe. But we'll stick on the Amir Imam versus, was it Maldonado fight? That was some good shit, man. Like, Chew, what did you think of the fight?
Yeah, I loved it. I've not paid much attention to either guy's career at this point, but you know, it's a great thing when two young fighters fight each other. I thought Maldonado, give him credit, man. He got fucking knocked down big time, multiple times, and yet he kept coming back. That Amir Imam, he's flawed, man. He keeps his hands too low, gets caught with some stupid shit, but at the same time, man, he's got power, and he can kind of torque right into it. Like, I don't even know how he generates the power. It must be the hips. Just the fucking hips. He's like that guy in Happy Gilmore. It's all on the hips, man. It's just like big fucking right crosses. And he was rolling with Maldonado's left. When Maldonado was throwing the shit left, you know, he rolled with it. And then he came back with the right. And he caught Maldonado on on a half turn. So when Maldonado got caught, it was an explosion, man. He just fell backwards it was like the strangest knockdowns ever.
He looked like he'd been tasered.
it was literally shocking, man.
The one at the end, right at the end of the second round, when it just happened on the bell. When he got up, he just looked like jelly, man. Like, even when he sat down on his stool, you could tell in his eyes he wasn't fully there. The doctor kind of leaned in, had a quick look at him, but he was lucky to have that 1 minute to recover. And then, boom, came out in the second round. Straight away, dropped Imam. I don't think Imam was hurt. I think he was trying to kind of twist away from the punch, and he got caught, and so he was slightly off balance, but he did catch him clean. But it was a wicked way to kind of just come back straight from getting dropped to dropping the guy that dropped him, and it was a good back and forth fight. And obviously Imam comes back and drops him twice in the third round. So
that third round was that could be one of the round of the years. That third round.
Yeah, I saw some tweets from Nota. Shout out to Nota, has not been on for a while, and he was saying that he was very impressed with that fight, and especially that round 3.
Yeah, it's a great fight.
One thing I noticed, the referee gave him a funny count one time. He went 5, 4, 5.
Yeah. I noticed that.
I noticed that as well.
Yeah.
I think he just.
I'm like, what the fuck? He just walked.
Yeah, I thought that.
I think he just missed. I think because he was looking over to the other guy starts counting by the side of the ring. I think he just mistimed it a little bit.
I think Maldonado was thinking, shit, man, I must have got hit hard, man. This guy's counting the other way around.
I kind of done him a favour. I think that kind of pissed him off, and I kind of woke him off of it.
What do you guys think of the stoppage? I thought it was fair. He was getting beat up, man. He was taking a lot of big punches to the head.
I was going to say that if you look at they showed on Box Nation there the shot, and it was slow mo from behind, right in front of him, and he took a straight right, and you saw his eyes just rolling to the back of his head.
Yeah, and then the left hook put him down.
Yeah.
The
ref saw that and just thought, "You're done, mate." But he gave him a lot of chances, that ref.
Yeah.
I thought he did a good job he's a good ref.
I like that ref. I don't know his name, but he's a good ref.
Bird.
Is it Bird? Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the best refs around.
I think he's Hall of Famer as well.
I wish he was the ref in the Leo SantaCruz fight, because that was a bullshit stoppage as well, and he's fair.
You know what? Much credit also to Imam for actually, in a way, kind of calling out Broner.
In a way?
Yeah, man, he called him out. Well, not necessarily, because I guess he wanted to fight him for a while now. But now that he's in the big stage and everything, he called him out towards the end. So I think that's much credit, man. We need that, man.
I don't think I heard that. I don't think the Box Nation had that interview, so that's news to me.
I didn't hear that either.
Yeah, that's news to me.
I think it would kill Broner.
I don't know.
They've got a kind of similar style, man. Like in
he's
the way
open though, isn't he? He's open to shots. That Imam, he got hit a lot, didn't he?
So's Broner.
Yeah, that's true.
And the way they like to kind of roll with the punch and come back with one. It would be one of those kind of fights. It would be quite interesting. I'd like that.
Yeah, we could find. I'm just looking at the top 20 online. I know it's just Box Rec, but there's a load of good fights for him out there. Like, he doesn't have to go chasing Danny and Broner and all that lot straight away. He can have he can make a really nice progression through his, next 4 or 5 fights. He could fight a lot of good people.
Mm. Yeah. But shout out to Dan Lim. He's in the chat. He was talking about Maldonado's yellow socks up to his knees. Like, I'm surprised. Like, I don't see more people do that. That's like a soccer thing, when it keeps the legs warm. But obviously, it didn't work.
Nah,
it didn't work anything for him.
I hate the look of those high socks, man. It looks horrible, man.
Look like a netball player.
Aye.
But we'll quickly go to the ESPN, because Joe's still on. Because you never know if Joe might drop off, so at least I know he watched the fights. Joe, you mentioned the 4-rounder. Let me try and get the guy's name up. I think it was Cornelius Whitlock versus Greg Jackson. Whitlock was in the...
I think that is right. That was a good fight, man. To be honest with you, that one was a good fight. I never expected that outcome. When the guy, I don't know which name was which, but all I remember was that one guy getting like hurt towards the end of the 3rd round, getting knocked down, did the crucial stanky leg. Man.
Yeah, let me explain it for anyone that's listening. So this was Friday Night Fights. It was the first fight on the card, 4-rounder. What's his name? Cornelius Whitlock was in the black and the white weirdest shorts I've ever seen in my life. If you guys go to Simbros and just quickly look at this guy's clothing, it's terrible, man. It's the worst fucking... I think he didn't even have socks on, like long socks. He had like a skin tight, those skin tight training things that you have on. But yeah, he was in the black and the white. Greg Jackson was in the green shorts. At the end of the 2nd round, Whitlock hit Jackson with a wicked, I think it was overhand right. And like Jackson just like his legs just gave way, kind of collapsed. He tried to bring him back up, and then he kind of fell backwards. So it made the knockdown look more impressive, because it was like he was tossed to the other side of the room. And as he fell, Whitlock started to do a little jig, started to do a little dance, and even Teddy Atlas mentioned it. There was still a minute left in the round, and I think Whitlock could have he should have pressured him a bit more and tried to finish him off. And I think he let him off the hook. He let Jackson off the hook, and then the bell went. They had a little break. Jackson's recovery powers are good. Teddy mentioned that as well, and he hit Whitlock with a few good shots, got him to back himself up into the corner, and then started to let his hands go. Joe, I know when you first seen it, you said it was a bullshit stoppage, but when you saw the replays, you kind of thought, nah, I was wrong. It was a good stoppage.
Yeah, man, it was. I think the way when they initially showed the knockdown, I think the camera view was kind of off, and it did look like a shitty stoppage. But when they had like different camera views, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, the ref did his job, because that guy was just getting hurt, man. His neck was snapping back, forward, side to side. Man, that guy was getting totally hurt.
Yeah, I agree. When I first saw it, I thought it was quite fair because, his hands were up, but they weren't really blocking. They were just kind of up there, not really doing anything, and he was getting hit with flush shots. But Joe, I don't think anyone else on the panel saw these fights, so I want to quickly go to Brandon Adams. You were impressed with him. He fought last year on Friday Night Fights in 3 fights at middleweight for the Boxino tournament. He came back on Friday in another middleweight fight, but he's going to be dropping down back to his comfortable weight, 154, in the upcoming Boxino for Friday Night Fights. Again, they've got another tournament going on at 154. You and I both likened him to Sean Porter with his style. Do you think, obviously he lost to Monroe in the final last year, do you think another slick guy that can kind of cut the ring, move well and stop him from cutting the ring off will be his downfall again, or do you think he needs to kind of improve his jab a bit more to, instead of just throwing wild hands, trying to get close and then let your hands go?
You know what, man? This guy, Brandon Adams, right? That's his name?
Yep.
Yeah, man. This guy's pretty good, man. I like his style, man. He has that Sean Porter style where I'm gonna rush you and knock you out, which is an exciting fight style for the fans, or the casual fans, that love that shit, that want to see somebody go into war and knock somebody out and don't mind the person taking a couple punches. But you know what? In all honesty, if he faces somebody slick, I think he probably learned his lesson from Monroe. That that style is only appropriate for certain amount of fighters that have that, like, I want to brawl with your style. I think he needs to pick it up that, if he needs to box, he needs to learn how to, like, really box. Because I think the guy doesn't have that much of an amateur career, if I'm not mistaken. He just kind of jumped straight to the pros, like not even having an extensive amateur career, And I mentioned it to you. I think you mentioned it to me, or I mentioned it to you. I think this is a perfect opportunity for Golden Boy, to kind of sign this guy, man. The reason I'm saying this is because the guy has a good story, as from what I remember from from the Boxino last year. He's from Compton. He has a good story. He avoided the gangs, jumped onto boxing, had a kid, had to take life serious. That's a good story, man. And I could see him being like a good opener for like any LA fight or the casinos out here, the StubHub, the Morongo Casino, wherever those fucking fights take place, man. I could see him opening up, getting built up the same way as Jojo Diaz, man.
I totally agree. Like, if Oscar De La Hoya is going to sign that Kamagai fighter that Guerrero fought last year, then definitely sign a LA guy. He's going to have a bit of support, He's American, so and he's a decent fighter. I still think he needs to work behind his jab a bit more, but he can definitely do things at 154, or if he wants to go back up to 160, I was definitely
man. I'm telling you, dude, that his story is good. And and like I said, man, for him being a guy from Southern California, Compton, where it's not the prettiest town in LA, it's a good thing that they could kind of like inspire people out here in LA, at least like the younger crowd that's into boxing.
Yeah, man.
Maybe they could get like another shot in life, man. So I think this guy, man, if they match him right and make him fight out here in LA, his fan base will grow so much, man.
Definitely. All right, let's quickly move on to the main fight on that card. It was Willie Monroe Jr. versus Brian Vera. It almost reminded me of the Monroe versus Adams final of the Boxino last year. Maybe Adams was a bit better because he could cut the ring slightly better. I was really disappointed with Vera. He didn't really have an answer to the movement. He wasn't working behind the jab. The times he did use his jab, he was working for him because he'd get close and then he could let his hands go to the body. But like later on in the fight, he was just trying to walk him down, just following him around the ring. I do like Monroe. I think his movement is good. He lets his hands go a bit. I hate the fact that he has his hands so low. Like, that's just one thing that's going to catch him out against a decent opposition. But what did you think, Joe?
I thought it was a good fight, man. I mean, it was decent. Like you said, Vera didn't really have an answer, did he? He was just chasing him around, trying to establish a jab, but Monroe's good, man. I think he fights southpaw, right?
Yeah, he's a southpaw, yeah.
Yeah, man. He's a pretty good guy, man, at fighting at that style. He slicks. His movements are good. You know, throughout the whole fight, I felt like Brian Vera couldn't find an angle or couldn't find a foot position where he felt comfortable at to try to engage Monroe. And speaking of him, man, I don't know if it was the 9th or 10th round when I think the ref stopped it. Like, I think they were grappling. You know, they were holding each other. Brian Vera did some shady shit, man. He did the Floyd Mayweather versus Ortiz where he just like, okay, the ref's not looking, chin check, motherfucker, but, you know, it didn't work.
Yeah, that was shady, man. I wasn't impressed by that. But let me get Chew into play. Chew, I know you didn't watch the fight, but do you think Vera's done now, dropping down to Friday Night Fights and then losing on Friday Night Fights? Do you think that's over? Do you think he should just retire now?
Sorry, guys, woke up. What's happening?
So that was the Friday Night Fights black hole then, yeah?
That was on ESPN.
That was some terrible acting, by the way. That was horrible, man.
You're getting a bit salty there, Chew. You're getting a bit salty.
Yeah, chill with the salt, man.
I'm getting a bit salty with these club fighters. No, sorry, guys. Vera, whatever his name is. Like, BKB was his format. If anyone was going to be suited to that, it would have been him. He failed. I'm not disrespecting the guy. He's tough. He's brave. But he's limited. He is what he is. If he can't win on ESPN. By the way, who won that fight? Sorry, I didn't even catch what you were saying. Who won that fight?
Yeah, Monroe won it on a unanimous decision.
Retirement time, I think, for Vera.
No, I don't think retirement just yet, Chew. I think what should happen should be Vera versus Rosado one last time, been in a proper boxing setting, man. That BKB bullshit was just crap. I think.
What was wrong with it? I heard you say that last week as well. I loved it. What was wrong with it?
Nah, man. That style of boxing is set up for somebody to get knocked out. It's the ring is just too small. You can't go outside this the circle. You know, it's like sumo wrestling mixed with boxing, man.
Wait, you trying to say you didn't like the kind of Mad Max style aesthetics they had? I fucking love that shit. It was like a
but come on,
biker
man.
gang.
If they put it in a proper boxing setting, I guarantee you, Gabriel Rosado will not have the same result.
Well, but Joe, Rosado knocked Vera out in a small little, if you call it a ring, you know. What's he gonna do in a big? What's he gonna do in a big ring when he's got a movement and Vera can't cut off the ring?
You said it, movement. His movement, man.
He fucking turned Vera in a ring the size of a penalty spot. What's he gonna do with a ring the size of a garage? A big garage, fucking Floyd Mayweather's garage. He's gonna have fun with Vera. Vera's done. The only thing he had, let's be honest, sorry, I'm being salty here. The only thing he had was his chin. His chin and his power.
And they've gone.
They've all gone because he's moved up a weight.
But he should retire because he's just becoming an ESPN gatekeeper, and he doesn't need to be dropping all the way down there, does he?
I agree. You don't want that on your tombstone, do you?
Yeah,
ESPN gatekeeper. That's where the gatekeepers go. ESPN.
Yeah.
Now he's the gatekeeper's gatekeeper.
Exactly.
The gatekeeper has to fight to get to the status of gatekeeper. You don't want that. You want to go somewhere else, retire, be a trainer. You'd probably be a good trainer.
You don't want to be demoted, do you? Demoted to an ESPN gatekeeper.
I agree. Yo, guys, I want to just jump in now because we're getting a lot of people calling in, and I'm telling them to just chill for a bit because.
Release the floodgates. I want to hear nothing back.
No, but before we release it, I just want to talk about two things. I want to talk about the prediction league and give some shout outs for the top 3. There's no point giving the top 10 because so many people are tied. So,
Cam, before we jump on the predictions, can I just say something before I jump off?
Go ahead.
What are you guys' opinion about? I don't know if you guys touched on this earlier, but Cotto Canelo, man. Now that the fight's not gonna happen.
It was in the itinerary, but my personal opinion, I'm disappointed for the fight not happening. But the rumors are that Cotto is going to be fighting Floyd in May, so I can't really blame him because it's going to be big money. But I would have preferred to see the Canelo fight.
Yeah. Just to let it be known here, I'm not buying that shit. I'll go to a friend's house and watch it, but I'm not buying Floyd Cotto again.
Go to Stiverne's house. He might buy the fight.
Yeah, man. But it's gonna be bullshit, man. Like, I don't want to watch that fight because you're gonna be paying a lot of money just to see a bunch of garbage ass TNT fighters on the undercard. Nah, I'm not having that, man. I don't want to watch that shit.
No one wants to watch that shit.
Chu, what do you think about this whole Cotto Canelo deadline overgone, and now the rumours of Cotto Mayweather 2 at 155 for the middleweight title?
Well, before we get into this, I just want to say that shout out to Beeb and Nez. I hope they're okay after that show yesterday, or whenever it was. Hope they're fine. I don't want to get into this discussion because it fucking leads to drama. But if you're to ask me, I think they will fight eventually. But as Beep said yesterday, and I'm not agreeing with you, Beep or Nez, I'm taking no sides in this. They will fight eventually. They're just waiting on Mayweather and Pacquiao to finish their business. Even though on Twitter, Dan Raphael, Jabba the Hutt, body double, he said that Mayweather Cotto 2 is possibly happening. There's a lot of chatter there. So, who knows? Who knows what's going on? I think he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, just giving up those belts to Floyd so he can say he was the middleweight champion of the world. It's just because he ain't winning that fight. We all, he ain't winning it. He should fight. The Canelo fight's a much better fight.
Yeah, man, he's just gonna hand over that fucking belt and just take a beating.
Exactly. Then
might as well have a fighting chance and keep your belt, man. Fucking fight Canelo. I think he probably has a chance, even though I don't have him winning for the fight. But he still has a fucking chance.
He's got more of a chance. He's got more chance of landing on Canelo, hasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. That makes more sense to fight the guy, man. Don't fucking just go just because the money's there. You're not gonna win the fight.
And I know, and people are gonna say I'm salty. This is just why I want Pacquiao and Floyd to go now, because they're just like they can just roadblock all these fights just by it not being sorted out. It's just everything's in limbo. It's just like either man up and fight each other or fuck off.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
They're doing a Froch.
Yeah, I know you wanted to mention Froch, but we can come back to him a bit.
We'll get to him later.
What's your thoughts about this whole Canelo Cotto Mayweather thing?
Yeah, well, you can see it two ways. I wouldn't mind seeing Floyd Cotto too, but before everyone jumps on me, I'll say obviously we want Pacquiao, we want Floyd Pacquiao. That's what we've been wanting it for over 5 years now. That's what we want, and it's closer than ever. We don't want Cotto to get involved to hinder that possibility, and it looks like it's happening. It looks like behind the scenes they're trying to make that, but they have to understand that no one wants to see it. So they will get backlash. They will get people saying we're not going to buy it and do campaigns, to try and force the Pacquiao fight, and Floyd won't look good. It will look like a duck, and it will be a duck.
On Mexico's day, on the day of Mexico, the cheek, the fucking cheek of it.
Well, to be honest, I don't believe in all this. One thing I do say is I don't believe in all this Canelo won the date back shit, because like Nelson said, Nota said, you had your chance. You should have beaten Floyd and you would have had the date. So, in my opinion, Floyd owns them dates because he beat him on that date. So, that's how I see it. So, that's Canelo's fault. If he wants to have them dates, maybe he should fight Floyd again or something. Well, Floyd Pacquiao, that date, obviously that could fight any date, but whatever he wants in that, they would have, because that's the big fight, that's the massive fight. But yeah, Floyd's fucking up, man. We don't want to see this shit. I don't want to mind seeing it, but we don't want to see it right now. We can see that. We can see that after you beat Pacquiao, innit? That's what I said.
Wait a minute. Was that some kind of hidden stipulation in the Canelo Mayweather fight? Was the fucking whoever wins this fight gets the May 2nd date? Was that the kind of?
I think so. They were trying to. They were
above the ring on a ladder or something like a fucking.
Yeah, they were trying to take his crown. They were hoping. Well, De La Hoya was hoping that Canelo would beat him, and Canelo's the new face of boxing. That was the plan.
Yeah, but listen, I've always said that those £2, the £2 that he made Canelo drop, that fucking killed Canelo. I'm not making excuses.
Floyd's good at that, dragging people up to weight.
I don't know, but I never believed in that one because he came in 153 versus Trout. So
yeah, Floyd was always going to beat. If
that 1 extra pound done that to him, then that's something's wrong with him.
We all seen him win.
But who picked Canelo to beat Floyd, really?
I did.
Some people
did. You?
Some people did.
Yeah. Floyd was always going to beat Canelo. No, I don't like Floyd as a person, but he was always going to school Canelo. He's too good. It's Canelo wasn't ready for that shit.
All right, guys. Sorry, weren't you?
Just a. Like Lara has got a similar kind of. I know he's southpaw or whatever, but he's kind of got the slick, kind of Mayweather style, and people argue about who won that fight, but Canelo, in my opinion, beat Lara. Why did he beat him? Maybe he was more comfortable at the weight. Maybe he was better for the experience of fighting Floyd. I just think that if Canelo came in comfortable against Floyd, it would have looked a lot like the Lara fight, competitive. Probably would have still lost, but it would have been a lot more competitive what it was.
I think that if we go back to this Cotto and Canelo fight not happening, the point is the two fights that people were excited about this year were the potential of the Mayweather, the fight we don't like to talk about, and the Canelo Cotto. They were going to be the two big fights, and if we end up with neither of them, it's just hugely disappointing again, isn't it? Because you just want to see good fights, right? And they're two really good fights that look like they're slipping away again.
Yeah. I mean, Floyd's a cunt. Every time you start to like him, he does something. It just makes you hate him.
I ain't never suffered with that liking Floyd shit, so I'm alright.
I mean, he was growing on me. But so do cancers. So
exactly. There you go. Tumours.
That's a good way to move on.
Oh, bit of hate, a bit of salt. Just fucking. Salt.
Okay, calm down, boys.
I tell you, that caller in the boxing voice really got under my skin. By the way, I've got to give the guy credit.
Which caller? The one that mentioned the salt?
The salty coalition that just hates American fighters. You're only half right.
We don't know. It's not.
You're only half right, bro. You're only half right.
No, he did call us the second best podcast out there, so you got to give him some props, man. You can't just shit on him.
He just said we've become a little bit salty.
Yeah, okay, I understand, but see if everybody and I'm not saying this as a subliminal shot or anything. I love the boxing voice. Nez is positive. I've got to give him that. He's a positive guy. But if I was to agree with everything and just try to fucking blow smoke up everybody's arses and kid on there's a rainbow behind every fucking corner, then it'd be a fucking boring show, and I wouldn't be telling the truth. Like me personally, you know what I mean? And this kind of thing where everybody's pretending that everything's great and bad fights are good, etc. It's just bullshit. What we'll say is, it's a brand new year. Salty. Let's start the slate clean. And it's been a good year so far, so who knows what will happen in the year of 2015.
I'd like to thank that caller because I really like the term salty, and now I'm using it all the time. I'd like to thank him for bringing that to my vocabulary.
Yeah, Leon's nickname is Monaco78, but he's considering changing to Salty78, so...
Yeah.
But let me get to the prediction league, because one thing I wanted to do was mention Ness, because he shouted it out multiple times, and thanks to him we have had quite a few new sign-ups. So thank you for doing that, Ness. Definitely appreciate that, spreading the word of the Coalition Prediction League. But obviously it was the first week. There were initially 4 fights. We've mentioned the one that got cancelled. So there were 3. So there's not many changes. There's a lot of people tied in different positions. So I'll just go through the top 3. So joint first, we got Boxing Historian up in Scotland, and we got PM versus The World. They're both on 100 points. Joint second, Marky Mark 6 and Segura. And in third, my boy Zilla the Gorilla, aka Scorsese, actor, MC. He does it all. That's my boy. He's in third. I think he got a bit lucky, to be honest. But
What's
yeah,
he acted in, Cam?
he was in a film called Le Donkin Scorsese with Paddy Constantine. If you might see that, it was like it was directed by Shane Meadows.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in that. He was the MC.
Was he?
Yeah, he played himself, Scorsese. Yeah. He's been in a lot of short films. He's just done one with I don't know the guy's name. He's in EastEnders, the Indian kid that's in EastEnders. That's just won a comedy award at the British Comedy Awards. It was like a 15-minute short film called 2 Doses. Really good film. Anyway, I've promoted him enough now. But let me get back to the Prediction League, yeah. So, for the next week, we got only 2 fights. It's the Brandon Rios, Mike Alvarado Part 3. And I think it's Gilbert Sanchez Ramirez. I think that's his name. Let me just double check. Predict. Yep. Gilbert Ramirez Sanchez versus Maximum Vlaslov. That's the only 2 fights. So it's a quiet week again for the boxing and for the Prediction League. But yeah, that's about it. Now, let me get to some callers. I know Rob Palmer's been waiting a while. So let me just call Rob now. Get him on. All the other people that I've talked to in the Skype, if you guys get ready, mention me. Send me a message in the Skype chat, and then I'll try and get you then after Rob. Rob, what's happening?
What's up, guys? You hear me good?
Hear you nice and clear, Rob. I guess you want to talk about Stiverne Wilder?
More than the Beeb versus Ness fight, that's for sure.
No, I think Ness versus Beeb was better, to be honest. But what did you think of Wilder Stiverne?
I mean, I didn't predict Wilder would win on points, but I did think he was going to win. For me, it always came down to styles. You know, I just never thought Stiverne had the style to beat Wilder or any tall athletic heavyweight for that matter. I think Stiverne had to fight a completely different fight to what he would usually do because of Wilder's size, and it takes a very, very good fighter to beat somebody that has all the physical advantages over them. And Wilder, he only really needed to show basic boxing skill to beat somebody that he's so much bigger and faster than.
I thought the fight was going to play out in a much different way, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, what I didn't expect was either of their chins to hold up. I don't think you can question Wilder's power. I think he's got A+ power. I think Stiverne's chin is like ridiculous that he took all those punches, but also I think Wilder was a little bit wary. He did go for the KO at some points, but he didn't go all out. I think he was wary of doing the rounds. I mean, I'm not comparing that fight to this one, but a little bit like Kovalev. Like Kovalev could have stepped on the gas more against Hopkins, if you know what I mean, and he didn't. And I think if Wilder had really gone for it, I think he could have got him out of there. But I mean, Wilder, he impressed me. Like, he's a better fighter than I thought. He's not Floyd Mayweather. He's not even fucking Ricky Burns in terms of technique. But he does have some plus points, you know. What's up, Hugh?
What's up, man?
Yeah, I mean, he can actually, for a tall guy, and this is really important for a tall fighter, he judges distance excellent. His judgment of distance is excellent. And, I mean, he throws a decent enough jab. His 1-2's decent, and he's got the size and the speed. And I mean, he's a lot better fighter than I thought. I mean, I predicted he was going to win, but I thought it was more to do with Stiverne being the right sort of fighter for him to face rather than actually rating Deontay Wilder.
That 1-2 has to be good, otherwise he wouldn't have been throwing a punch for the whole fight, would he? Because that's all he threw.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, when you've got the size advantage, when you've got all the physical advantages, you don't need to do that much to win. You just got to do basic stuff and you'll win the fight. I mean, I know Stiverne and Wilder are different weight divisions. They're in the same weight division, and Stiverne was a bigger guy, but really they are two different, like, size of fighters, aren't they?
In terms of height, yeah.
Yeah.
And
But you know what? The only two heavyweights I would favour. I'd favour Klitschko. Obviously, I don't think that's really coming into question. I would give Povetkin a good shot at beating Wilder, but
Yeah, I think Povetkin.
I would 100% pick Wilder to beat Fury. Fury is open to shots way too much. Fury's a good inside fighter. If he could get in, he'd be able to maul Wilder down, push him around because he's so strong. But he doesn't have the power to really trouble Wilder, and Wilder's chin doesn't look as bad as we thought it was. And Fury is way open to shots. He'd walk onto shots, and Wilder, I reckon, would knock him out.
Repping that flag there, Rob.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well done.
You know, I'm not Stuart Little. I'm
boy.
But Rob,
Fury's Irish anyway. He wants to be Irish, doesn't he?
He's ours. He's mate.
He's ours.
But Rob, you want to talk about undercard or any of the Friday night fights if you saw anything?
I mean, Leo SantaCruz, like, can't really say much else than anyone else. He makes Scott Quigg's opposition look like he's fighting like Froch level of opposition or something. Just, when's this guy going to step up? He's talking about $3 million to fight Rigondo. He's gassed. Calling his kid Al Haymon. Oh my goodness.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. That's when you know money is more important to him than prestige.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem with guys trying to make money, but I mean, I think it's got to the point now where fans would respect him more if he took a loss from a good fighter. Like a close loss. If he has a war with Abner Mares, like fight of the year or something, and he loses, then I think fans would respect him more than just beating on these guys. That Ruiz guy he fought, I mean, he weren't up to much. You would fancy like Kid Galahad to beat him pretty convincingly, you know?
Yeah, I think he'll be a Quigg. He'll end up fighting Quigg or someone. That guy.
Yeah, it probably will. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. That's typical herd matchmaking, isn't it? It can be like, oh, he went rounds with Leo SantaCruz or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll get him. But I think the one thing you brought up is, if boxers are the only people who care about their O's, I don't care as a fan of certain fighters and stuff. I don't care if they've lost.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Leon. I think the casual fan that O does mean something though. That's who they're always marketing the sport to now, isn't it? It's not really to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Like on the Showtime broadcast, they were just all they were talking about was how Wilder was the first undefeated American heavyweight champion since Riddick Bowe, and it was all about how he's undefeated and that he's got 32 knockouts, 32 wins, and all that kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, you see, the thing is, like, when I watch Leo SantaCruz fight, he's getting a lot of bad habits now. He throws a lot of arm punches. He does a lot of shit that he gets away with because he's not fighting the best opposition.
Oh, it's true. I mean, if you keep fighting shit fighters, you're going to pick up bad habits.
Yep.
If you're fighting the best, then you're going to improve. But he's not going to improve. He's never finished article. But yeah, you're right. I think he has actually regressed as a fighter. I think also he was a beast at bantamweight, wasn't he? He looked like, because he looks a bit like Margarito, like, and he looks a bit like. But as he's moved up in weight, he don't seem to really have serious pop in his punches.
It's nice to see a guy throw a lot of volume though, man. He does keep punching. It's not like he just throws ones and twos. He does throw combinations. Huh? It's nice to see, I think.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that as well. It was like, is he shrank, or is the more than likely his opponents are just more or less the same size as him nowadays? Now that he's kind of moved up in weight, just goes to show you, like, it's not just like who you're fighting. It's like how far you can get down in weight and bully people.
Yeah, he was saying before the fight that he can see himself finishing at 140.
No,
his career.
He will get destroyed at 140.
If he's not really.
The only fighters that do well moving up in weight over time, really, I mean, obviously there's exceptions, but like Pacquiao and that kind of thing, but it tends to be the defensive fighters that are elusive because those strengths are increased as they move up in weight because they're fighting slower guys.
And they don't take a lot of damage early on.
Yeah, someone like SantaCruz that walks on face first into punches, he ain't going to do well at 140. Could you imagine Terence Crawford against Leo SantaCruz?
Oh, he meant like eventually though. He wasn't obviously saying he's going to jump straight to 140. Obviously, he meant like towards the end of his career. But Rob, what did you think about the SantaCruz Ruiz stoppage? Do you think it was a bad stoppage or?
It wasn't. I mean, I don't really have. You know what? When fights are meaningful, then I'll worry about the ref stopping it too early. Like if a fight really means something, but I know it's for a world title and whatever WBC belt, but that fight was meaningless. It was only going one way, so just I don't mind the ref jumping in at that point. I don't really take an issue with it.
Cool. Anything else you want to talk about, Rob?
No, I'm good. I'll just chime in if I have to.
All right, cheers. All right, let me get to Joe, White Ski Mash Joe Morgan. You there, Joe?
Yeah, boys.
What's happening, Joe? You cool?
Yeah, boys, not bad. How's it going?
Good, man. What do you want to talk about, Joe?
Yeah, man, we've pretty much passed over the Stiverne stuff, but yeah, no, I thought it was a really good fight. I mean, I haven't been that excited for the first few rounds of a major fight in a long time. Maybe because it's just the heavyweights and the whole mystery surrounding Wilder, but you know, I was buzzing for that. Just on SantaCruz, I think we've got to realise as well, it's like it's a big motivation issue as well. I reckon. I mean, he's not going to get himself up to batter his sparring partner. I think when he gets put in meaningful fights, you know, with Mahrez, Frampton, Quigg, I think you will see a different SantaCruz. But at the moment, he's just sort of. I mean, how fired up can you get? I mean, I know he's getting paid $750K, but I mean, how fired up can you get to fighting someone like Jesus Ruiz?
No, I totally agree, Joe.
Like, I mean, the thing with SantaCruz though, he's putting miles in the bank, and he doesn't need to. Like, he's taking shots, and I know that Ruiz isn't exactly a big puncher, but he's just taking unnecessary shots that are going to catch up with him later in his career. So,
yeah, I agree.
But I still think Frampton decisions him, and I think Quigg would be competitive, though I think SantaCruz would win, and I don't think he stands a chance with Rigo.
I agree to everything that you just said.
What about Frampton?
He said he decisions him.
I think Frampton decisions him. It'll be a good fight, you know. I think it'll be close competitive for the first few, but I think Frampton's just so classy and he can move. Like SantaCruz has never shown us that he can box on the back foot, and he's a good mover. He's a come forward fighter, and I think that just suits Frampton down to the ground.
What about Kid Galahad? Kid Galahad.
No, I don't think he's got the skills as of yet to sufficiently keep SantaCruz off him.
I think he's got the skills. I think he hasn't got the power to keep him off him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still a bit sceptical. I mean, obviously he won Young Boxer of the Year at the Boxing Writers, and he's obviously got a lot of talent, but I really need to see him in an acid test before I can really comment. Obviously, it's a bit rich, really, considering Quigg's fought absolute bums. But
and what's Leo SantaCruz's best fight?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but it's hard to really pick Galahad because he had so little exposure. But you know, that would be a step up for SantaCruz anyway. So it'll never happen. But no, I wouldn't mind seeing that.
People are sleeping on the kid, man.
I would like to see Galahad against Ruiz. I think that would be a good step up for Galahad, actually.
Yeah, I mean, give him a bit of exposure as well with the American market.
Yo, Joe, can I be rude and just jump in and just get Kev on quick, because I think he has to go soon?
Yeah, man, go for it.
You stay on the line, though, Joe, yeah? Kev, are you there?
Yeah.
Bomb Squad!
What's happening, Kev?
What's up, Kev?
What's up, guys? Q, what's up, man?
Kev, what's up, man? How's it going?
Man, long time no hear from.
Hey, bro. How you feeling, man?
I disagree. I'm feeling alright, man. I thought that was a good card, but I thought the first two fights were more fun than the third fight, even though SantaCruz fought his usual bum, but I don't know. I just, I was getting roasted on Twitter for basically saying that, you know, Wilder could win a lot of fights doing that, but he's not going to win a lot of fans. I know he got huge numbers in the ratings this fight, and I just feel like I think a lot of people probably left disappointed.
Yo, Kev, you got a figure for the ratings?
I saw a bunch of like 1.3 millions posted around. I don't know how accurate they are, but like I think like even Steve Kim posted it out there, and he's never usually favorable towards Showtime, so he's usually down the middle with that stuff. So
that's massive for Showtime. Massive.
Yeah, no, it's the only person that comes near like since the HBO split, the only person that's maintained his numbers or only had a slight fall off is Broner. Everybody else is getting killed. So if he did that number, that's huge. And I just feel like people came expecting Godzilla and they got, Iggy the Lizard, and it just wasn't what they expected.
Kev, specifically, what did you not like? Did you not like the pace of the fight? The fact that...
Well, I mean, I understand the first couple rounds because it's new to him. He's fighting a real guy with a pulse and stuff. But after the 6th round, he seemed to really slow the pace down, and like the jabs didn't have much snap on it. There was a lot less 1-2s, and he wasn't really throwing any hooks or anything. So it was when you throw less right hands and less 1-2s, it's just walking around the ring in circles throwing weak jabs, and it was more bad on Stiverne for following him around. But I think with Wilder's height and athleticism and coordination, like those. I think he could do that to a lot of people, so I'm not necessarily blaming Stiverne. And I think he can win a lot of fights that way. I just think it's boring, You got a guy screaming bomb squad and, 32 knockouts, and the first real guy he fought, he hurt him that one time at the end of the round, but other than that, he never really threatened him,
No, I see what you're saying. But Kev, I wanted to get into something else that your Mead spoke about, the Petrov-Lundy situation.
Oh, yeah.
Do you still agree that you think that Petrov should have took the extra 10 grand and fought Lundy?
Yeah, I do. I just think ESPN has been doing good cards, and I thought that'd have been good exposure for Petrov. And I don't think 4 pounds would have been a difference between winning or losing a fight when the guy's taking the fight on basically 10 days notice, and you've been training in camp for a while. So I don't think that would be
Yeah,
I know what you're saying, though. That 4 pounds, maybe he'll have a decided weight advantage when he gets in the ring, but I think he would just be at his normal walk-around weight,
Yeah.
But I don't know. Who knows? Like, none of us are back there. Maybe he should have did a compromise where he said, you know what, lose 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and maybe he would have tried, but when it was like it's either all 4 or nothing, you're basically calling the fight off. And I don't think Petrov would have got killed if he lost to a guy that was much bigger than him, like the same way Lomachenko didn't get killed by losing to Salido, when he came in grossly overweight,
Yeah, no, I see your points. I do disagree, and like Teddy made some great points about why did Lundy sign, and I know he took the fight on short notice, but boxers gonna know if they're gonna make a weight or not, so why sign the contract if you're not gonna be able to uphold it, so...
Yeah, that's very unprofessional because it's not like he even tried.
Why
offer him the fight? Why offer him the fight if his previous fight was 140?
Because you know how Lundy's talking. He probably was talking about I can make it, let's do it, and he's known for signing multiple contracts and having to renege on them because he's doing shit that's illegal or not within contract for him to do. So
he's
known
done that
for these type
he's
of
done
things.
Shit like that before then.
Not necessarily like this, but basically trying to sign to multiple managers and signing up for fights even though he knows he can't take them, like weird stuff. I remember, I don't know if it's Steve Kim, somebody wrote an article outlining a couple things that he did, and it's just like, he's eager to fight, but, you got to play the game.
All right, just some breaking news in the chat. Nothing for something, and Adam, I'm trying to bring up his name now, my computer's really slow. Adam Lane, I think it is. Yep, Adam Lane. He's saying that Jermaine Taylor arrested again, Sergio Moro fight off, and nothing for something is saying Todd Grisham tweeting that the Taylor Moro fight is off. So just
that's good news though, right?
It's breaking
some boxing scene.
Yeah, I think Leon just put me a post, but we can get back to that in a bit.
Probably end up doing Dam against Moro for the vacant title.
It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. And Dam's got that one. But Kev, is there anything else?
The one thing I wanted to call up on and ask before I get off is what you guys thought about Imam, that guy that Luki was real high on. I wanted to know what your take was on him, because I know he didn't get a lot of love on a lot of preview shows, and I thought he kind of stole the show.
Yeah, he stole the show. He's got good power, good timing. I like him.
Marketable as well.
But he gets hit, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I think that's more fun, I think he carries his hands a little low, you know what I mean? But his right hands, even the short ones, were the ones that were powerful. So that's the kind of thing that I look for when he doesn't have to really get you on the end of the punches and come all the way through. That first right hand basically was a 6-inch punch that he just crossed his jaw with.
And when he got hit, he didn't look hurt, did he, at all when he got up?
He looked more shocked.
Yeah. With the other guy, he just put him on Queer Street, didn't he? Every time he hit him.
Yeah, and a lot of I think people were complaining about the stoppage because he got up, but I mean, when he was hitting the deck hard. It's not like he was bracing himself or anything. He was going down hard, and I know it was the end of the round, but at that point, what's really the point of letting that happen again? You know what I mean?
The shot where he gets punched in the face just before he gets hit with a straight right, and you see the whites of his eyes rolled into the back of his head. There's no point in him getting hit anymore.
And like I said, the ref gave him a chance. He gave him the count, and he looked right in his eyes. And as soon as he did that, he waved it off. So I think you got when you got somebody 6 inches in front of you, as opposed to from being on TV, I think you have a different perspective. You know what I mean?
And I trust that ref. He's a good ref.
Robert Bird. That wasn't Weeks. Who's that?
Robert Bird.
That was Bird. Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, but Kev, you got anything else for us?
Nah, man. I'm just listening in from here. All right.
All right, Kev. Thank you. Getting
Later.
back to Joe. Sorry about that, Joe.
No, man, love listening to Kev. He's always entertaining.
Yeah, man, totally. So we were just finishing on Stiverne and that. And did you mention Santa? Yeah, we talked about SantaCruz. Did you see the Imam fight that Kev was just referring to?
I sort of watched it quite briefly, just for the knockdowns, man. I heard a lot of love for the way the bloke went down, and it was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah, man, it was definitely a good fight to start January off with, man. It hyped me up for the rest of the card. The Leo fight was okay, it wasn't that great, and then I was expecting the Wilder Stiverne fight to be fireworks, and it was an okay fight, but it was a bit of a letdown because I think 99% of boxing fans expected one of them to get knocked out, so for it to go to points, it was unexpected. But Joe,
yeah, one of the things I noticed about Wilder was when Stiverne was sort of coming forward and trying to put some heat on. Wilder was doing that thing where he sort of held his hands in front of his face, trying to sort of pour away some of his shots. I think if he does that to a rangier fighter, he's going to get absolutely chinned. He's not coming away with a nice tight guard and moving laterally. He's sort of just holding the gloves in front of his face, trying to sort of pour away the shots. And I think that's quite a dangerous thing because Pulev was doing that to Klitschko, and he got absolutely iced. But that was one of the sort of technical things I took away from that.
For me, that's one of the reasons why I can see Haymon just matching him up with smaller guys, because I think he needs to improve, a lot of things, and if he fights a rangy guy, then he's going to be in trouble. So I definitely think Haymon's going to protect him.
Yeah, man. And just on the whole Mayweather sort of all that negotiations, I mean, if we don't, it's highly likely we see Mayweather Cotto, which is, I'm gutted about, because the sad thing is they won't even make that fight at 160. Cotto will be quite happy to make that at about 150, 156, 157. And Mayweather's going to decision him easy, because Cotto has regressed and Mayweather is probably still about the same. And even though it was quite exciting the first fight, I still think Mayweather easy decision. But I'm sort of I'm clinging on to the really faint hope that Canelo just thinks, fuck it, I'm going to fight GGG. Because he's got that attitude and he's got Oscar behind him. And maybe not for May 2nd, but maybe in the summer we might see that fight. Because they're both with HBO. GGG will be keen. And I think Canelo, he's scared of nobody. So hopefully we see that. And as well, hopefully we see Manny versus Terence Crawford. I quite like that fight at 140. As far as top rank go, that's sort of the best they're going to go, because I don't want to see Pacquiao in with fucking Vargas. That'd be a joke. And I don't want to, unless they can make the fifth Marquez fight, I'm quite happy for Pacquiao to fight Crawford. So I'm not, we can't be shitting on everything. Hopefully we get to see some good matches out of this. I know it's gutting that we don't see Mayweather, Pac and Canelo Cotto, because they're two absolutely super fights. But, if we get to see those fights that I just mentioned, I think, that's pretty decent and we can't really complain.
I want to jump off the question and I'll go to Ari, because Ari's been a bit quiet. Ari, would you be happy could you see Bob Arum like throwing Terence Crawford in there with Pacquiao? Because I think it's a risky move because he's trying to build Crawford up, and it's definitely a fight that Crawford can lose.
Yeah, I don't see it. To be honest. I'd more likely that he would put Mikey Garcia in there. Because I heard Mikey Garcia might be coming back soon as well, and they've been pushing for that beforehand, weren't they? So I don't think that. I don't think they would, because that'd be a tough fight for both people. To be honest, I'm high on Crawford. You know, I like him, so I don't see it happening now.
Is Michael going to go up to lightweight then? Because Crawford's moving up from lightweight. Where are they going to make that fight?
140, I guess.
40, yeah.
Is Crawford sticking around 140?
Yeah.
Is Mikey going to jump from super feather?
I think he's already at lightweight, isn't he? Well, when he did fight, because, you know, it's been a while. Wasn't his last fight at lightweight?
Vacated
sorry.
the super featherweight title.
Yeah, I thought his last fight was super feather.
Yeah, but he's vacated that title, so Lido's WBO champion now.
Yeah, I think he's looking to move up again when he does come back, but obviously we don't know what's going on with him, so. But I would have thought he was going up to lightweight.
It's a good fight.
If you're Bob Arum, I don't see how Crawford and Pacquiao make sense. You're kind of taking one of your cash cows out of the game if you match them against each other. That fight, I can't see that happening soon.
But really, how long has Pacquiao got left? Do you not think Arum's going to eventually sort of look for a cash out and sort of if he can?
I don't know.
If he can pass the. Yeah, but if Crawford beats him, that's like sort of the passing of the top rank cash cow torch onto Crawford, because he draws massive in Omaha, and he doesn't want Pacquiao losing to some bum that like he can't really build a future around. So I mean that's the only reason I can see them making that fight.
I hear what you're saying about that. The thing is, like, although Crawford's getting big numbers in Omaha, but the tickets that they're selling are not expensive. They're like $20 a piece for like the majority of the tickets of that show. So they're not actually making a ton of money from the gate. They actually would make more money if they just stuck him in a casino and gave away 1,000 tickets. As sad as that is to say.
Yeah, but I think he's got quite a fan-friendly style as well. I don't know if his power will carry up to lightweight, to light welter. I hope it does, but as far as top-ranked fighters go, I think he's probably the shining light out of all those fighters. And if he can pass the torch from Manny to Terence, he won't be too pissed about it.
Yeah, MV2 might agree with me, but Crawford's personality is not exactly. He makes Andre Ward look exciting.
See, the thing with Crawford is, like, he's got such a big fan base that you'll get fights, but you'll never be the next level because of his personality. Like, he could be, if he was more Deontay Wilder, he would be, but he's too reserved. Yeah. So I agree with you, man. I do agree with you. The thing is, like, he needs someone to sell the fight. He can't sell the fight on his own. So he's always going to be an opponent. I don't see how he's going to change that. But credit to him, man. He's got the fans. He's got the fans behind him, but he's never going to get a Floyd Mayweather to go fight him in Nebraska. And I would be surprised if he brought a lot of fans down to Las Vegas. So he's always going to be an opponent, man.
I'll be honest. Crawford needs to sign with Al Haymon, man, and then get some of them fights. That's where all the fights are. But I know that's a popular opinion, but I want Crawford to sign with Al Haymon.
Hang up.
But Joe, you got anything else for us before I let you go?
No, I'm looking forward to the Rios Alvarado. I don't know if you guys will preview it later, but that'll be a fun fight. And I was pretty happy with last weekend. Roll on the rest of 2015.
Joe, what is your pick for that fight?
I was gonna go Alvarado before Christmas, but I think Rios now. The amount of shit Alvarado's going through in his personal life, I just think his head's gone. I think Rios probably might even stop him, but Do you know, I want Rios to win because I'd rather see Rios in with other fighters as opposed to Alvarado. I'd love to see Rios like Provodnikov, but you know, I think Alvarado's done. He's had a good run, but I'm going for Rios by a late stoppage.
Cool, Joe. Thank you for phoning us, man. Definitely call back soon, Joe.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, Joe.
Later, man.
Let me go to my boy Hamada. You there, Hamada?
Yo, what's going on?
What's happening, man? Stiverne, Wilder. What's your thoughts?
I picked Stiverne, you know, so I'm a bit frustrated.
No, so you're a bit salty now, yeah. Hamada, I saw you in several chats. Obviously, the Boxing Coalition chat, the Boxing Voice chat. You were going hard on Wilder, saying that he's got skinny legs, he's going to get knocked out, he's chinny and all that. So a lot of that is still correct, but obviously he did get past Stiverne. But what were your thoughts of the fight?
I picked Stiverne because I honestly thought Wilder has no chin. I thought he couldn't take a punch. I thought his skinny legs and his small head, I thought he wouldn't be able to take punches. But he took some punches in this fight and his chin held up. So he definitely proved me wrong. But I ain't got a bad word to say about Wilder. He stepped up and he delivered, innit? He got the victory, you know. I can't say nothing bad about him.
And what do you think next for him? Do you think he'll be protected by Mr. Haymon?
Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. Haymon now has a heavyweight boxing champion. Obviously, he's gonna milk that. America haven't had a heavyweight champion in a while. He's not gonna feed him to someone like Klitschko and make Klitschko win all the belts in the division. He's definitely gonna milk him. He can probably put him in with people like Shannon Briggs and Antonio Tarver and all these people I've been hearing about, but that's how it's gonna happen. That's how I see it anyway.
And
can I just play devil's advocate?
Go ahead.
Go on then.
After the fight, he said he was ready for Tyson Fury and all the other guys, all the best guys. Why would Deontay Wilder want to take a massive step backwards and fight a Shannon Briggs, regardless of what Al Haymon fought? I think, you know, Deontay Wilder is his own man. He's not Leo SantaCruz. I don't think the competitive nature of Wilder would be happy with fighting a bum.
Where's your proof of that, though? Where's the proof of that he's his own man? What makes you say? What's the evidence? I'm not being salty.
His personality, you can tell he's got a bit of bravado about him when he talks, when he speaks. You can see his character. He's clearly got a strong character. I'm not saying Leo SantaCruz doesn't. But what I see is a kind of braggadocious guy who his pride won't let him take the shit they would take. This is a guy who let an internet troll get under his skin to the point where he invited the troll into his gym and fucking knocked him out. So is he really going to take that kind of abuse from the fans that he would get if he fought a Shannon Briggs? I don't know if he would. I think his pride would probably get the best of him, and he would want to fight a Klitschko, a Fury, a challenge, a David Haye. Like, if David Haye came back, that'd be a great fight as well, because of their history.
That fight.
Or a fucking Anthony Joshua, or a David Price.
So why?
Is there any
32 bums then?
Good point.
That's a good point, That's a good point, but
it worked though, didn't it? He fought 32 bums and then he had one good fight, and now he's the heavyweight champion in the world. Maybe that's the route to go.
But a lot of people were picking Malik Scott in the Deontay Wilder fight.
Who?
Yeah, plenty of people were picking Malik Scott. Remember, Malik Scott was beating Chisora before the dodgy stoppage.
I was watching a Ellie Segback video and I can't, one of the Mayweathers, can't remember which one it was, but they were saying Malik Scott was going to knock him out. a lot of the kind
They
of
talk
guys, the
shit,
trainers
like-
and shit, were saying Malik Scott was going to beat him. Malik Scott's like a
There's
gym
no way
legend.
there's no shit about boxing. If his dad talks a load of nonsense half the time, doesn't he?
Malik Scott came to the weigh-in with a brown paper bag on his head, so I lost that respect for him.
No, but Scott was highly thought of. Remember the Chisora fight? He was beating Chisora.
Yeah, no, I agree. He was beating him.
I think that win is
I think we're being I don't know one person that picked Malik Scott.
No, people were picking Malik Scott. I'll try and find some sort of poll or something. People were picking Malik Scott.
Yeah. I can't trust you anymore, Rob.
That's salt.
The point being, the point being to Hamada, I think he's not going to take a massive step backwards. He'll take a step down, but I can't see him. Maybe for one fight, I can't see him being a Leo SantaCruz. At least I fucking hope not.
We shall see, won't we? We shall see.
All right, Hamada.
Will have to come out, won't it?
Hamada, the rest of the fights on the undercard, did you see him? What do you think? Also, Friday Night Fights, did you catch that?
Yeah, I watched the Willie Monroe fight. I don't really want to talk about it because he was fighting Brian Vera, who was shot to pieces. He's not that good though, Willie Monroe. I've seen that he's got a terrible jab, man. His jab is shit. I just think his jab, but he's got a good set of legs. That he moves well, but he's shit. I think that his jab's shit. Sorry, not him. He's alright, but that Amir Imam fight was good. It was a good fight, man. I enjoyed it. It was a nice fight to kick off the card. And yesterday I was speaking to you about Leo SantaCruz. He don't impress me, man. I think Rigo beats him, Frampton beats him, him and Quigg is a 50-50 fight. That's what I think. Like I was telling you yesterday, I might even pick Quigg.
No,
you said in the chat. Frampton's even 50-50.
Yo, Hamada, you said in the chat.
beats him.
Hamada, you said in the chat that you thought that Leo throws arm punches. I disagree, man. I think he gets good rotation into his punches.
A lot of them arm punches.
No, but you always have to you have to consider that of his span, you know what I mean, of his reach. When he's up close now, they are going to be slight arm punches.
It's just why he throws too many punches. That's why when you throw so many punches, you're bound to throw arm punches. A lot of them is going to be arm punches when you're throwing so many punches.
Yeah, I agree. He's like Joe Calzaghe. Like, a lot of them are arm punches, a lot of them are, proper digs.
Leon's gonna get salty now that you mentioned Sir Joe.
Yeah, MV2's got a problem with Sir Joe, though. I think he just needs to get out of his system.
Sir Joe.
But you get a knighthood before Froch does.
Yeah, I agree with that one, but...
So buckle up.
Coke Joe.
All right,
easy now. That was when he was retired. He can do what he fucking likes when he's retired. And now you got nothing to do with nothing.
Class
All right,
Joe.
yo guys, let me get back to Hamada. Anything else, Hamada? Who you got for the Rios Alvarado fight?
I'm gonna go with Rios because I think he's got his brain is working a lot better than Alvarado. Like, you could tell Alvarado's been getting beaten up too much. Like, Marquez and Provodnikov literally beat the fuck out of him. So, to be honest, I think he's been taking too much punishment, whereas Rios really only got beat up by Pacquiao, really, if you think about it. Chavez was kind of beating him up, but he kind of got out of there with the win somehow. But I think Rios will probably win. But if it goes to the decision, I think Alvarado might get the decision because it's in his hometown. That's what I reckon, anyways.
All right, cool, Hamada. Anything else before we let you go?
No, that's it. That's good. Oh, you're not going to talk about Froch?
Yeah, but I want to get to some more callers first, Hamada, because we've got quite a few callers backed up, so I want to get them out of the way first.
Yeah, don't worry, Hamada. I got you on Froch.
But Hamada, you can jump. I'll get you back on when we're talking about Froch.
Alright then, cool.
Alright, cool. Alright, we got Brandon on the line. Brandon, are you there?
Yo, what's up? Can you hear me, Cam?
Yeah, we can hear you nice and clear, Brandon. Where you from?
Yo, I'm from Phoenix, man. I'm the dude who calls the boxing voice from Phoenix. And I'm Arizona Slim on Twitter. Me and Kevin had to have a couple decent little back and forths and stuff.
Nice. All right, Brandon, what do you want to talk about? I guess it's going to be Wilder and Stiverne.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'll just start from the beginning of this weekend. We actually had a pretty good weekend this boxing, and I mean, pretty much all the fights were good. There was either a good knockout or a competitive fight or something. I mean, from ESPN all the way up. I thought the Willie Monroe fight versus Vera was sort of entertaining, just because it was good to see Monroe step up against some better competition and do his thing, even though Vera's not the greatest fighter. But and as far as the big fight, man. Yeah, you know what? I was impressed by Wilder, man. I thought that, that he was going to gas. That's what I thought. I picked Stiverne so I could eat some crow. But, it was just, after the fourth round, man, I looked up.
Sorry, Brandon.
Sorry, man. There it goes. I asked for it. But, after the fourth round, I looked up, man. I thought it was like the sixth or seventh, the way the fight was going after the fourth. So I know that mentally he had to be kind of tired. So I was expecting kind of the performance that we got after that point. I'm surprised that Stiverne was able to take the shots and that, out of all the podcasts, chats, whatever, I don't think I saw anybody that picked this fight to go the distance. Anybody. I mean, y'all tell me. Mm-hmm.
Cam picked it to go the distance.
To be honest, that's like a half pick. I did say last week that I wouldn't be surprised if it went the distance, but my pick on the Coalition League was Wilder by stoppage, so I can't take that, to be honest. I can't take the recognition.
There must be some in the prediction league that predicted it.
Chew picked it on points, didn't you, Chew?
Yeah, I did, man.
How comes Chew don't have 100 points?
Because he forgot to do one pick. He forgot to put the Monroe Vera pick.
Bottled it, basically.
And you don't
what? How did I bottle it, bro? I forgot. I thought the pair off. We're going to. Sorry, Arizona, man. We're going to get back to you, bro. But
that's all good, man. Do your thing.
I was gonna pick that fight, but I thought that whole card was off because of the Petrov Lundy situation. I thought that whole card was off. I didn't even know that fight was on. But don't worry, Rob, you'll get yours.
Okay.
It's getting salty.
We'll see where you are in 2 months, man.
All right.
Like I said to Rob earlier, you can't hide from the league.
Yeah, the league will show all your flaws. You can't go changing your picks afterwards. I'm not implying you do that, Robert. I'm just saying to everyone that's in the league, it's like you will be exposed if your picks are shit. But let's get back to Brandon. Brandon, I've asked most people this question. Can you see Mr. Haymon protecting Mr. Wilder?
Oh man, he almost has to. I mean, you got this big NBC deal, going down now, and then you get a young, good talking, decent looking American heavyweight. You know what I mean? It's like you can't fuck that up. You know what I mean? It's almost like Anthony Joshua in who has him? Hearn has him?
Yeah.
Yeah. You kind of have to coddle somebody like that because they could be so valuable in the end game. Because I mean, how much longer is Vlad really going to fight for? 2-3 years at the most? We're thinking here, because what is he? 36 now?
38, isn't he?
Damn, that's my point.
He have another 4 fights in him.
Yeah, so I mean, he could keep going because I mean, he's just that skilled. He hasn't really taken too much punishment, and he's in cruise control right now. But I mean, you could have a potential, dynamic heavyweight here, and that's what sells tickets, man. At the end of the day, I mean, back in the early '90s when Tyson was doing his thing, it kind of overshadowed everything else in boxing. There were other the weight divisions that were good and competitive at that time, but no one even really knows about them because of how popular Mike Tyson was. You know what I mean? So I think that's what everybody's kind of looking for. Everybody's looking for that golden ticket as far as a heavyweight. But especially with that NBC deal, man, because that's what's going to bring eyes to it. If you got a heavyweight that can knock people out, people here will watch that shit. It don't matter, what it is. People will watch that.
How many tickets do you reckon Wilder would sell if they put him in Alabama?
Oh, he could sell out Alabama because and it's the same exact thing that you see in Nebraska with Crawford. You got a small community that's basically I don't know if the Nebraska University, the Cornhuskers, is right there in Omaha, but you got a small town, you know what I mean, with nothing really to do outside of college sports. That's the big thing there. So when there's something else going on, people will go. People will go, man. Go ahead.
The basketball season will be finished in March, and then football season doesn't start till September, so that would be a big deal. They've got like a 20,000 arena for basketball, I think. it would do pretty well there.
What are you talking about? Basketball finishes in June, July. What are you talking about?
No, but it's college.
College.
Yeah, college basketball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Alabama doesn't have any professional teams.
None. Not a one. And just imagine this real quick. Let me say this real quick. Imagine if Deontay Wilder defends the heavyweight championship in Tuscaloosa and Nick Saban walks him out there holding the belt. That'd be huge. That'd be huge. That'd be all over ESPN. And that's
for you guys that don't know, that would be like. For you guys that don't know, that would be like Alex Ferguson walking out with Fury or something.
He's like a basketball manager or a football manager.
He's like a football coach. Like Alabama college football sell like 110,000 tickets for like a regular game
every Sunday.
And he's their coach. He's like their greatest ever coach.
They already got a statue of him outside the stadium.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah,
no joke. All legit. So I think that's a big deal, man. If they can just monopolize with Wilder. But I think that I don't know if he beats Fury, but I think it's a competitive fight, and I would pick Wilder just because I would pick Wilder in that fight. But I don't think he has what it takes to beat Vlad, and he's not going to get to that point in the next 4 fights. You know what I mean? It takes a long time for heavyweights to develop. So what I saw yesterday wasn't too bad, because you got to remember, think about Lennox Lewis when he didn't really hit his prime till he was in his mid-30s.
I actually want to ask you a question, Brandon, just in regards to, since you're an American and I don't know if you've done American football or basketball or whatever, but everybody's kind of talking about the transition like these guys make into boxing, and the only really guy who's done it successfully so far has been Deontay Wilder. So how easy is it to make that transition, do you think? And do you think there are going to be a lot more people doing it now that he's been a success in such a relatively short space of time?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that question, because I think about stuff like that a lot as far as in terms of heavyweight boxing. The thing about it is that there might be more people who try to do it, but for them to be successful, it's going to be tough, because in America, our top athletes of that size are mostly African American. And like most of those guys are going to end up playing college football because the route is a lot easier. You can go to college and go to a nice university and have a bunch of girls and co-eds and all that kind of stuff around you. With boxing, you don't get that kind of guarantee out of it. So that's why you don't see a lot of good American heavyweights with class, because they're not going to start so young like a Broner or like a Floyd or a Terrence Crawford or somebody like that, or even a Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, any of those guys. Because if those guys were all 6'5", 230, they'd be playing football, and that's just how it is over here.
Yeah, see, the thing is, like, I wonder why boxing's never considered like being like a university sport. I know it's like the gutter sport, the ghetto sport, so to say, but like, why not? I read reports on American football, and these guys are getting concussions every time they play, to the point where they're fucking going into places and shooting people up and committing suicide, and they've had all this kind of trauma and shit. When I look at it, man, boxing's a safer sport than that sport. So why not?
You know what? There's way more people that have played tackle football than boxing. I mean, that happens in football, but if as many people boxed as they played football over here in America, then it would be, the numbers for people who are getting concussions from boxing and all that stuff would be a lot worse off, I think. Boxing's just more dangerous. I mean, that's hard to sell to somebody's mom. You know what I mean? If you had a son and, you're trying to explain to your wife that you wanted to let him box, it's a lot easier for him to play American football than it is to let him go in the ring with gloves.
From living here, I see it, because the NFL have like all these programs like to get kids to do stuff and play, and like NBA has it, the soccer league has it, like where they're just like, they get kids to do like free stuff and get people involved. It's just like they're like family sports. Like families will go and do all of this stuff together, but boxing just fucks itself. Like one person, if Aram's doing something, it's to fuck somebody else over. If Schaefer's doing something, it's to fuck somebody else over. Nobody in boxing is working collectively together, and because of that, you're never gonna really. It's just gonna always be this like cesspit of shit, really. It never really improves. Yeah, I'm getting salty there, aren't I? That Leon, is that salty for you?
Contagious. The salt is contagious, I think.
It's a good point. A very, very salty point.
But Brandon,
Jazz in the chat. Sorry, Jazz.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Brandon. Just Jazz in the chat says boxing needs to be in the prisons.
Yeah, well, that's where Tyson came from.
But even now, like I'm reading reports that like I've never been to prison, man, but I'm reading reports that they don't teach it in prisons anymore in case they use it against the guards. So, I mean, even that kind of talent pool is getting taken away. Like, you'll never see another Bernard Hopkins, so there's less gyms. There's less guys coming from prisons and shit. You know, kids are doing other things now. They're playing Xbox. They'd rather play Fight Night.
Hell yeah. Why not?
Well, they're not going to be a world champion that way, man.
You'd be a world champion at Fight Night champion on the PS3?
You can make money doing that, man.
Yeah.
My point is to the E side in the chat. There's less of a talent pool, so you're now getting guys who are starting at 20 years old, 21 years old, 24 years old. If they started that 20 years ago, they wouldn't have made it. That's my opinion.
All right,
Exactly.
Brandon, you got
Exactly.
anything else for us? You got a prediction for the Rios Alvarado fight?
I'm picking Rios, man. You know, I just don't. I really need to watch that like little HBO, not 24/7 or whatever they called it.
Road to. Yeah.
I need to watch that. I just need to get a look at what Alvarado's mind state looks like, because you know after the two beatdowns he took from Ruslan and Marquez, you know, I just don't think he's going to be the same guy when he walks in there against Rios. Even though Rios took an ass whooping from Pacquiao, you know, he didn't get physically, you know, beat up in that fight a lot. He just lost.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see that, man. But I got a quick question for y'all, man. What's the deal with Lee Selby, man? You guys think he could really romp with them boys at 126 or what?
He's about to take that belt of Gradovic.
Yeah, I think if good matchmaking, I think if there's certain guys he can beat and certain guys he should maybe stay away from, like Lomachenko. But yeah, I agree with Ari. He can beat Gradovic.
Yeah,
I think anybody can beat. Do you think he can beat Gonzalez?
You might outbox him, you know.
Yeah, that's a tough fight to call. That's like maybe 60-40 to Gonzalez, I would say. But like,
I'd say is that he'll give anyone a good fight.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
One thing I never like about Selby,
in a
though.
weak division, he could take over, but he's not in a weak division. He's got Lomachenko and Mares and Walters. Like they're not pound for pound yet, but they've got pound for pound potential.
No, there's killers in that division.
Yeah.
One thing I
need them to move up.
One thing I don't like about Selby is he always says in his post-fight interviews, "Oh, yeah, that wasn't even good. Like you should see me in sparring. I'm much better." But then, well, why not bring that into the ring then? Why are you better in sparring? Bring that what you're doing in sparring into the fight.
That's what. But Ari made a point about this before, where he drains himself a little bit to get to that weight because he's so big.
100%.
And maybe in the gym he's walking around at the weight above.
Yeah, that's a good
point. And that's why he feels a lot better.
Yeah.
But I think he's started to show, you know, the power starting to come in that last fight, and he's one of those guys. Is when he's challenged, I think he steps up. He's got good.
Didn't they say he beat up? Didn't they say he absolutely battered Gamboa like in the Mayweather gym, like Mayweather proper rates him and stuff, because he just puts a beating on everyone at the Mayweather gym.
Well, he's the Welsh Mayweather, so
house.
he is the Welsh Mayweather. So, well, Brandon, we're gonna have to let you go because we got some more callers.
All right, man. It's all good, man. Shout out to you guys, man. Y'all be doing your thing, man.
Yo, thank you for calling, Brandon. Definitely call again.
All right, man.
Hey, cheers, bro.
Cheers. Right. Cool, man. Guys, let me get to Segura. Segura, unmute yourself and talk away.
Boys, what's going on?
Chilling, Segura. Thanks for calling. Sorry for having to wait for so long.
Oh, no problem. I was just eating a little dinner. So I want to check in. So why Americans will pick football or basketball over boxing? It's because the NBA and the NFL are like real businesses that are just corrupt from the ground up, like boxing. Like there's different sanctioning bodies. None of them do what they say. The NFL is like a legitimate business. You know, it's part of the Better Business Bureau. and boxing is definitely not. So like you'll see a troubled kid is going to see Mike Tyson, how Mike Tyson got robbed. He got just like mistreated and he ended up broke and on drugs. You look at a guy like, say, Randy Moss or Allen Iverson. These guys, I don't know if you know these guys. Iverson is like pound for pound one of the best basketball players of all time. He was troubled, but he came in and he made like $200 million because you get paid for what you do. In boxing, there's so much up to chance, and like you can just be treated the wrong way or brought up the wrong way. And I think there's just so much margin for error that it's a smart investment for these kids and for these parents to cash in on their kids, to put them through, a system that is proven. You know what I'm saying?
Segura, that's an excellent point. That's an excellent point. Seriously.
Yeah. And I don't know, do you guys know Allen Iverson, any of you guys?
Yeah, they used to play for the Philadelphia.
Dude,
yeah, but
he's
Iverson's broke himself right now.
Yeah, well, that's because he's an idiot, an alcoholic.
Have you ever seen that documentary, Broke, the 30 for 30?
I'm not 100% sure. I've seen a lot of 30-30s.
Yeah,
so
I'll send you the link, man. You should check it out. It's basically it's got Holyfield and Tyson on it as well. It's basically about all these athletes that, like, how they blow their money, all the stupid stuff they do.
Rob, can you send me the link for that as well, please? I'd like to watch that.
Yeah, I'll find it for you, man.
All right, nice.
Oh yeah, that's a good 30 for 30. But a guy Iverson, like he was like a football star. He could have played NFL, and I think he's 6 foot 160. I think he could have fought welterweight. Dude, his arms are ridiculously long. He's so quick. I bet he would have been a sick boxer. But I'm speculating. But that would be pretty cool to see. And then I want to jump to. I was kind of thinking like I've been following basketball just my whole life. And I love prospects. And the way a prospect works there is like he'll come out of high school, maybe 1 year of college. He's in the league 19. And if he's good, he's making an impact on the world level. And in boxing, it's a lot different. And I understand that because if you go into a basketball game and you're not ready, like you'll just look stupid. If you go into a fist fight and you're not ready, your career will be destroyed. So, watching prospects, I've kind of adjusted my expectations with boxing. And Amir Rahman is a guy that I really like. Like I saw him just on a random network like 3 years ago, and he just like sparked somebody. He like just put him to sleep. He's like so subtle, and like he has a short punch, but it's just absolutely violent. And I like watching that. And so like when I watch a prospect, like you want to see how his power carries. So like as he steps up in class, like a lot of guys' power will become like you'll realize that it's not there. Kind of like a guy moving up in weight. Like eventually his power will fade. And I was afraid Iman's power had faded when he fought on ESPN. He showed resilience, but he didn't even drop the guy. But in this fight, dude, he was just blasting this guy away. It was like he was getting hit by like machine gun, just a round of machine gun shots every time he went down. And Steve Kim made a funny comment. He said nobody gets knocked down like Fidel Maldonado, and I agree with that. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a good point. But anything else for us, Segura? Sorry.
Yeah, Segura. It's actually Mexican, so I'm part of the coalition there. I'm bringing I'm American, but I'll represent Mexico for you guys.
Nice.
Yo,
nice.
Segura, can I ask you a question? Do you?
Yeah.
Do you accept Leo SantaCruz as part of your Mexican-American community, or do you disown that?
You know what? I don't like the way you see him ringside. I don't like that like weird black ring he put in his baby's chin. So no, I don't accept him.
Segura has disowned him.
He's gonna get an infection. What'd you say?
You've disowned him.
But yeah, one more thing. So with Wilder, I was on my toes for like the first 4 rounds. I was looking for the knockout, but I was impressed, man. He kept his distance. Ness made a good point, well, an obvious point, that like he was just throwing 1-2s, and it was just like so predictable, but it was like a battering ram, so it was getting through. And then his lead hook, or his left hook, just terrible. Like I don't know a lot about boxing, but it was like it was open, it was wide, he wasn't turning it, and his like fist was open. It was kind of like a bitch slap if you look at how he was throwing it, and I feel like he's just gonna get rocked if even Fury, who's kind of a good boxer. I think he's a good boxer. He's quick. Klitschko, like those guys will just drop him. Even Povetkin, I think. But I mean, I thought
Yeah, I
he
got
kept his distance
Povetkin
well.
big on that.
Yeah, Povetkin's kind of slept on because Klitschko was just like such a bully on him, just pushing him down. That was a terrible
Klitschko
fight.
cheated in that fight.
I agree. Yeah. But the other thing I liked that Wilder did, like he would throw the jab and then he would throw the straight and he wouldn't jump in or lean in at all. He would just pivot. And that kept Stiverne from really being able to come in, even though Stiverne just kind of looked lazy throughout the fight, to tell you the truth.
Segura, who have you got
was
for...
horrible.
Sorry?
Yeah.
What are you saying, Liam?
Stiverne was horrible.
Yeah.
I still think people were saying that Stiverne was like a bad Chisora. I thought Chisora is a bad Stiverne.
Whichever way you want to look at it, they're both horrible in their last fight.
They should fight each other and see who's worse.
Stiverne ain't never going to fight again, I don't think.
No, he'll probably fight in like 2 years when he needs some money, because Stiverne's like output of fights per year is pretty low. Segura, who have you got for the Rios Alvarado 3?
I was just about to say, I think I have Rios by UD. I don't know why, I just think so. And like Rios is like a proven, like not a real smart guy, and Alvarado, I kept seeing that he had a prior felony, and I was so curious as to what it was. I was looking up like past articles in Denver and looking at past cases and stuff, and essentially there was like a domestic charge that never came to fruition, and other than that, he's like a serial traffic offender. The guy, I feel like he's just a moron, and those two guys in there are just idiots, and I guess they should kind of build a fight like that. I don't know.
They say you lose brain cells when you fight. They might lose all their brain cells in this fight.
They might lose their brain.
Yeah, it might all just
fall out through the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got, boys. Though, thanks.
Yo, Segura, thank you for phoning.
Yeah, cheers, bro.
All right,
You're
guys.
cool,
I think I got to everyone. So I know Ari wants to have a little rant about Froch. So take the floor, Ari. Go ahead. I'll get Hamada on to join you for the rant.
Yeah, get my boy Hamada on. But first of all,
go on, Ari. Get him.
Clear my throat a bit. Yeah, I woke up today and I saw something that I wasn't surprised at seeing. I saw someone who's supposed to be leading the boxing in Britain. I saw someone fake an injury.
Well, let me interrupt you.
I'll say he faked an injury.
Let me interrupt. How do you know he's faked an injury?
It's clear.
No.
They had 1 month. Basically, the IBF have told them they have to negotiate with the girl now who's getting stripped. Obviously, something's going on with Chavez where Aram's still holding on. So this is the smart thing they're trying to do, is where he pretends he's injured. They have more time now to try and convince Aram to let Chavez go, to let him fight him, and they can also talk to the IBF now and say, look, we can't negotiate a fight with the girl because we're injured. So they plan to do this now, where they've got till the summer. The girl can't do nothing. He's just sitting around. The girl's getting shitted on.
They're
crazy right now.
Hearn fucking him up.
That's supposed to be his promoter as well. Obviously, it's Hearn's idea. Something's going on. It's obviously something to do with Chavez. They want to make the Chavez fight, but they can't. And every time they want to make it, Aram keeps coming out and saying they better not make it because I'll sue them. You know what I mean? Them kind of things there. So it's obvious what's happening. We're not dumb. Anyone that falls for them kind of things, we're talking about elbow injuries and all this shit. It's clear. We know what's happening.
But I'm not being bad, but they know that Chavez is going through this shit with Aram. So why are they even trying to make the fight? They know it's going to be difficult to make.
Because it's Hearn's boy and it's Chavez or retirement. That's why. They know the girl gives him a very good fight. They know.
They don't fancy fighting anyone else. That's why. That's the truth. They don't fancy
all they want is Vegas pay-per-view, and there's no other super middleweight out there that they can have that with.
Honestly, I hope Froch and Han both crash and burn. Fuck them. They're taking the piss.
Go on, Amanda.
I've had enough of Eddie Hearn. I used to actually like Eddie Hearn at the start when he started doing his thing on Sky Sports and that, but I've had enough of his bullshit. Ever since the Froch Grove at Wembley Stadium, he just gone off and just given us bollocks after bollocks. He gave us one card that I remember in Liverpool, which was full of showcase fights. He got Bellew and Cleverly were fighting some South American. Like, what's he doing really? Like, it's frustrating, man. He's pissing me off.
Are you talking about the one where he fought Belanti?
Yeah, that was a horrible
No,
card.
it was the one in July where they just both fought like cans, and then he did the run out in the ring. Do you know what? Like, I said this last week. I was high on Hearn, but not anymore. You know, they've only had one British title fight on Sky since Froch Groves. Only one British title fight.
Now they're just fighting for them ABCs.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
And now we're going to have to watch Kevin Mitchell fight a guy Omar Figueroa knocked out, and we're going to watch John Ryder, who's been feeding us down our throats for how long. Put John Ryder in a proper fight. Get Highland to fight him. Get someone.
I said they were never going to get Highland because Highland's not that dumb. Why would you leave? You're close to a mandatory. Why would you leave that to fight Ryder and most probably get robbed?
But now look, he's got who's Ryder fighting now? Last time he was fighting at welterweight. I've had enough of this bullshit now. He's really pissing me off, Eddie. Him and Froch, fuck both of them. Froch don't want to fight the girl. All right, cool. He doesn't want to fight Golovkin.
Give up the belt. That's all it is.
Just retire, quit, just retire. Because Chavez is in some serious legal issues. Bob Aaron's gonna want money from Haymon and co. Because he's invested a lot of money and a lot of time into Chavez. Chavez was meant to be like the next Mexican star. Obviously, they've invested in him. They spoke to obviously the WBC to strip Martinez and give him a belt, and we know all the politics and all the bullshit that Chavez has done and Top Rank have done for him, and then he tries to run off and sign with Haymon. It's all a mess. Haymon don't even work with HBO, so how is that fight a HBO pay-per-view?
Why? Can I just say, why would Chavez fight Froch? What's in it for him? Like, why? Like,
money. It's a big fight for him. It's a big money fight for him as well.
Is it really?
Pay-per-view.
Well, he sells massive pay-per-views, doesn't he?
Yeah, but the only...
And there's 2 belts for him as well.
Yeah.
I just think it's a kind of random matchup.
It is random. It's very random on Froch's side.
Like, why is Chavez this big guy that you want to fight?
I think because he's the only guy that he can realistically fight in America other than Andre Ward that's going to be pay-per-view.
Ward fight's not even pay-per-view though.
That's what I'm saying, but like...
It's for the wrong reasons.
But the thing is that like Chavez is a big name and he can be on pay-per-view. Froch just wants that last fight, you know, in the lights, and I kind of think it's bullshit, but I can kind of understand his point. But I do agree with Hamada and Leon and Ari that don't fake injuries and all. Like I said, I don't think he's faked the injury. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But just to give up the belt, like if you're not gonna fight, just give it up. Don't mess another guy about, because
don't fuck up the Gale, man.
Yeah, the Gale's joined. The Gale's joined Hearn thinking that he's gonna get his title shot. Obviously, he got that good win last summer against Gonzalez, and then they're
saying the Gale Kessler, aren't they?
What's the point?
But he doesn't need it. Why does he need to fight Kessler?
For no belt?
He fought Paraban. He fucked up Paraban.
No, but they'd make it for a belt. It'd be
they can't. They can't. The IBF won't do that.
See, in normal circumstances,
who the fuck is Kessler? What's Kessler done? The guy disappeared for like 2 years.
He's going up. That guy.
And then he will come. And he will come out of hiding from Denmark, and he will jump in a title fight. It won't happen. The only person I can maybe see the title fight is maybe they can negotiate is Groves, because Groves is high up in the rankings alongside. But I don't think Kessler's even ranked.
Even if the girl beats Kessler, people's going to say, "Oh, Kessler's inactive. It's not a credible win." Froch will probably come out and say that and not want to fight him.
Oh yeah, and Froch will shit on him. You know he will.
Froch is just clearly just not interested in fighting the girl. Okay, cool. I'll give Carl Froch his due. He admitted, I don't want to fight the girl. Okay, then vacate the belt then. Yeah, vacate and just go off and try fight Chavez in Vegas. He's got this obsession with fighting in Vegas. What's the difference? Fight anywhere. Why Vegas? This whole Vegas. I don't get it. What's this obsession with fighting in Vegas?
It's his dream, man. I'm not gonna knock him on that bit. But all I want is to drop the belt. Obviously, it's Vegas, isn't it? It's the mecca of boxing, as he says.
Yo, guys, this section's getting a bit salty, I think, so I think we need to move on.
I can get salty, I tell you.
I'm going soft right now, Cam, and you know it.
Yo, this is the most like frustrated I've heard Hamada like ever, man. Like Hamada's like proper annoyed about this shit.
For me, man, I'm going soft.
This is some bullshit. Eddie Hearn as well.
It's bullshit. And why hold up a good man's career?
I'm not gonna I see what Leon's saying. I see what Hamada's saying. Listen, I'm not as upset as you guys, because here's why. Cal Froch has earned the right.
What, he's earned the right to hold onto a belt for no reason?
That's where I agree with you guys. He shouldn't be doing it while he's got the belt. He shouldn't be picking and choosing. Otherwise, what's the point in rankings if you're not going to fight your mandatory?
Exactly.
You know, he should fight his fucking mandatory. But if anyone's earned it, it's Cal Froch.
Yeah, but he said, I will never, I'll never give up my belt. I always fight for my belt. Well, go on then.
Yeah, you did say that. That's why I think he's a bit of a hypocrite, because he's made his whole career on fighting the best. Why ruin it at the end of your career by taking...
Go on, sorry, go on.
No, listen, Hamada, I feel your frustration. All I'm going to say is he's starting to get on my nerves a bit. It's a shame. What are you going to say, Hamada?
Me too, and you know I was a big Froch fan. I was rooting heavy for him against Groves. I remember. Sorry, Hamada, let me just finish this quickly. I remember before I was a full-on hardcore, I was on my way to it. When I watched that Butte fight in my living room, I remember I was in my sitting room, everyone's gone up to bed, I'm there, I'm jumping up and down like a maniac because he's knocked out Butte, when everyone's thinking if he loses this, he's going to retire. I remember that night. I remember my dad shouting at me from upstairs to shut up, and, I remember staying up, kind of depressed when he got worked by Ward like that. I remember them nights, but when he's doing shit like this, I'm just thinking, you know what I mean? What are you becoming? That's what I'm thinking. Because you're shitting on DeGale. It's not even about DeGale. It's about that he's holding up the belt and he's bullshitting about Chavez. Like, Chavez is just an elite pound-for-pound guy. We see Chavez struggling with Vero, who's a fucking middleweight. So what's Chavez really going to do to you?
Nothing. That's why he wants it. It's a no-risk fight, and he gets his dream of fighting there without the chance of losing.
It's a bank run.
Yeah.
The Cal's still on, he's in the bank.
And I'm not going to go back to it about what he said about Sir Joe all those times. So all I'm saying is, you're doing the same shit, mate.
I love you say, I'm not going to go back to it, but you go back to it anyway.
But that's me saying I'm about to go right back to it.
You did just call him your mate. Yeah, Leon? You're fucking mates.
Me and Sir Joe. I wish I was.
I
love Sir Joe.
If I was James DeGale, I'd be putting pressure. I'd be telling Ambrose Mendy, get on Eddie Hearn, put pressure on him. Because Eddie Hearn, when he was signing James DeGale, probably promised him big things. Told him he'll be fighting for a world title. I'll get you the biggest fight. And now look, he's all out in the cold. Groves don't want to fight DeGale. Apparently Groves really wants to fight Darrell for some reason. He doesn't want to fight DeGale. Groves has got this obsession with becoming a world champion. All he talks about is, I will be world champion, I'm going to be world champion. That's all Groves talks about. That's all he talks about. And he knows that Groves and DeGale won't be for a world title. It won't be for the world title. The IBF won't let Groves fight for the title. They let him fight for it twice against Froch, and he got knocked out twice. They're not going to let him fight for it.
I miss George Groves, by the way. I've got to see the George Groves in the first Cal Froch fight, the build up to that. Just his gun, the face he used to make when he was sitting next to Froch was just, I miss that. I miss the Ming games. I hope they come back.
He's gone, Chew, man. He's suffering deluditis. He's gone,
yeah,
man.
Groves actually
got that Amir Khan disease.
Groves actually became who Froch originally said he was. He actually started to become disrespectful. Because that's the thing, Groves was never disrespectful for the first fight. And that's why everyone started thinking Froch was a prick.
Again,
but then Groves actually
did turn that shit around.
Yeah.
He needs to get the Rubik's Cube back in the game, man. That's where he came from, all that kind of mental strength that he had, that Rubik's Cube, and you could see fucking Cal Froch's face, and he's clearly angry as fuck, but Groves is getting to him. He's lost that. As Leon said, his soul is departed. I hope he gets it back, because if it does, I would find something he would beat Darrell for me. I'm not as sold as everybody is on Darrell. I still see a hittable guy who can punch, and Groves can punch as well. So that'll be a great fight.
Chew, you know what?
Punch is gone.
Yo, let me jump in. Wait, let me jump on.
Booth Groves maybe, but no.
Yeah, Booth Groves.
He needs to make that phone call.
Chew, obviously Chemo listens to every show. He loves your impression of Paddy Fitzpatrick. You got to do it for Chemo.
I'm not going to do it, man. I can't. Go on, George. George, go on. George. It's the last round, George. Okay.
Yo, guys, I think we need to move on because we've got another caller. So I'm just trying to get him on the line. Miguel, are you there? Miguel,
yes,
my friend. Hello? Miguel, are you on the line?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now, Miguel. Where are you from, Miguel?
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, from Dallas, Texas. How y'all doing, guys?
Doing excellent, Miguel. What do you want to talk about?
Man, I wanted to talk about I see MB2 is there. How you doing, MB2?
What's up, Miguel? How's it going, bro?
All right, brother. I listened to you at the Boxing Boys. You haven't been on there lately, though.
Man, I love the Boxing Voice, but it's just so busy. Every time I call up, man, it's a pain in the ass, but I will call up from now on.
Yeah. No,
Robbie to your spot.
Yeah, I'm great. I'm got this show, man, because sometimes, they don't come on there and then you ain't got nothing to talk about. I wanted to talk about Wilder, man. He kind of surprised me a little bit, because I've seen him previously in past fights, and he kind of wild when he throws his punches. And I see a little bit of improvement. I mean, he needs a lot more, of course, obviously, especially in the type of level he's in and now, being a champion and, and then the Al Haymon, issue. I think now that he's a champion, they're probably going to try to, keep him, like every other fighter they do, like Leo SantaCruz and Danny Garcia's and the Nasworth, you know what I mean?
Yeah, keep him protected.
Yeah, that's unfortunately it's that way. And there's another thing, man. It kind of surprised me on Leo SantaCruz, when they ask him, hey, do you want to fight, Rigondeaux or Lomachenko or whoever the case is, which I know that Lomachenko, he will school the crap out of that boy. I can tell just about, he's got a lot of talent, you know what I mean? And he'll sit there and say, well, it depends on my promoter. Nah, guys, come on, guys. This was the reason why boxing the way it is. No, in the past, when they would ask us fighter, hey, you want to fight so, bring it on. Because first, you got to prove yourself. The money's going to come itself regardless, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Once you beat the best, the money's going to come no matter what, But these guys nowadays, they're cheats. They always bring out their, their promoters and whatnot, which, is kind of ducking. I see it that way. And it's unfortunate. It's being Hispanic and hearing it from this guy online. Like, I tell my wife, oh my God, tell this son of a bitch he ain't damn Mexican. Man, how you going to sit there and you're going to say, it's up to my promoter. No, guy, if you believe in your skills and you believe in yourself, the problem I think is what's going on with boxing now these days. A lot of people are afraid to lose. You know what I mean? They're afraid to get rid of that old.
Yeah, but all of my favorite most of my favorite fighters have lost. You take the loss. We're fans. We'll stay with you. If you lose to a good guy, you lose to a good guy.
Exactly. You know what? And here where I go. This is my scenario where I have a lot of people shit on Canelo. I know he's not the most talented guy. And like everybody, like every fighter, he needs some improvement. Of course, they're still learning. He's still young, but you got to give credit to that kid. After he came into the USA and started being known here, he stopped finding, tough, oppositions. And of course he's gonna be, where he wins or barely wins, or you'll have a win where it's questionable. But what you expect? He fighting the best. You know what I mean? He fought Mayweather, he didn't win that fight, but he fought the guy. He didn't have no problem going in there. He fought Lara, he had a tough fight there, which in a way I think he didn't look good. I think he won because the way Lara fought, he fought in there and being scared, throwing 2-3 punches, moving around a lot, you know what I mean? So, but this kid, he's in there and saying, I'll fight, I'm not afraid to fight. And he lost, he's still, being effective. You know what I mean? And a lot of these fighters nowadays, they don't want to do that. They don't want to take chances.
It's a fucking great point.
Is that
money does that to you?
Effect?
Yeah, I agree on that, And a lot of that, I think that has to do with the promoter too, like how he's paying these guys. Like, for example, I told my wife, why is Wilder making more money than Stiverne? It's supposed to be the other way around. I think Stiverne's purse was, $900,000 and Wilder was 1-point-something million. How's that?
Yeah, but it's people watch that fight because of Wilder. No one gives a shit about Stiverne, whether he had the belt or not. That's just the way it works,
Yeah,
doesn't make it right, though, does it?
Yeah, that's not right. But what should just because Stiverne's got some vacant WBC belt, should he be getting the money when he doesn't even bring money to the table?
Well, yeah, I agree.
If Stiverne had been fighting against, I don't know, Glasgow, that fight wouldn't have even got on Showtime or HBO.
Yeah. Well, I heard that now that I think he's going to be fighting on NBC. That's what I heard. I don't know. You know, they got that contract now. Haymon has that contract with all those fighters.
Yeah, he's signed there now, isn't he? The guy from, I saw an interview of that guy from Golden Boy, and they said that was his last fight with him.
Well, to kind of follow up on Miguel's point, like Al Haymon got to the top via Showtime, dumped them, just dump it. I presume they're going to have less fights on Showtime. That's pretty disrespectful to Showtime. It just goes to show you it's not about loyalty.
No, exactly. Yeah, well, it's all about the money, and I agree that. You know, a lot of this. I even saw a conference call that the lawyer had with David Lemieux. You know, he signed him with a couple of fights, and I saw an interview on that they had on YouTube where he was, I think, upset. You know, what happened? They took all those fighters away from him, and that settlement he had with Al Haymon, and I think he made a little comment where he goes, "All those fighters that took away from me, Lemieux replaces all of those. This one guy," and I think he took that kind of personal. You know what I mean? Which I do agree, because you know what's the name? The other guy that was working for him, I'm trying to Richard Schaefer.
Yeah,
he kind of screwed him over there for a lot. You know, he kind of screwed him up. Even though Oscar wasn't doing his thing, taking care of his business when he had those issues, you know, an alcohol and drug problem, but still, you know, I guess he trusted the man and he backstabbed him. I have to show you what money does. You know what I mean? You got to be on top of your game. But
Definitely.
it's just, you know, and then the Rios, you know, I'm turning on this story on Rios. You know, I'm not a big fan of either, both. I'm not really interested in the fight. And the reason why is because the skills, lack of skills. They're just the type of fighter that just go forward. They don't have the movement, you know, ring leadership. You know what I mean? Where they can just they're a straightforward guy. You know, I mean, it's fun. They're gonna beat the crap out of each other, but I mean, it's not. It's kind of boring. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not a real fan of both, but that's all I got, guys. You know, I love the show, man. I was today effort listening to it, and I loved it, man. Give me something else to listen to. You know what I mean?
Yo, thank you for calling, Miguel. On a side note, has anyone ever told you that you sound like the actor, is it Danny Trejo? The guy that was in Machete and Desperado and all that. You sound ridiculously like him.
Do I? No, I think when I called one time to the Boxer Voice, one of the guys told me I sound like who? It was a fighter. I can't remember who the heck this is.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. But yo, Miguel, thank you for phoning.
He does.
Hey, I wish I was. I wish I was him. Had all the money.
Yo, Miguel, thanks again for phoning.
All right, man. Thank you, guys.
Take
See
care.
you next week. All right.
Cheers.
I think it was just me that thought he sounds like Danny.
He did.
Yeah, he does, innit? That's what I thought. All right, guys. MB2, I'm going to you first because we need to go into a quick speed mode now because we're almost hitting 3-hour mark. I wanted to talk about your favourite friend in the world, Mr. Haymon, his NBC deal, and these fights that got announced last week. Danny Garcia Peterson, Brona Molina, Thurman Guerrero. What's your thoughts, Chu? Chu, you still there?
Yeah, sorry, bro. I was just on mute. Aye, good fights. Can't complain. The only one I would really kind of kick up a little bit of fuss about is Broner Molina. But, you know, Thurman Guerrero, great fight. Dana Garcia, Peterson. I fancy Peterson in that fight.
Really?
I think Peterson would get him.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Peterson in that fight. I don't know why, the last fight I saw Peterson, I know he was fighting a guy a kind of level below him, I can't remember his name, but who was it? Who was Peterson last fighting? What was his name?
Santana, Edgar Santana, I think it was, and Garcia's undercard.
And he was just going round him. It was like he was hitting a heavy bag. I was really impressed, because I don't think Santana's like that great, but I was really impressed by Peterson. He must be back on the drugs again. And I really fancy him to kind of do a number on Danny Garcia.
That's interesting. Me, I think that's a competitive fight, but I think Garcia wins it for me personally. But Ari, what's your thoughts about these fights that have been made?
Yeah, it was good to see that 2015 looks brighter than, that shit year that we just went past. And maybe Haymon did have a master plan, as people did predict, and maybe hopefully his guys who were having shit years, like for example Garcia, and for the most part Broner as well, that maybe they're going to do something. But I will say, yeah, just like Chu said, I'm not really hyped for Molina, because it's like everyone seems to have forgotten. Maybe they didn't see the fight, but he lost to Humberto. I think I say his name, Soto. He lost that fight. He didn't look that good in it. It was a close. I think it was a split decision. And that guy, I don't really rate him that highly. I think I remember he lost to Bradley a few years ago. So Broner should win this fight. If Broner the wins, then obviously something's up with Broner for sure. Something's definitely up with Broner, but Broner will win that. But what's going on with Broner? Does he not want to be a free weight champion? Does he not want to try and, I don't want to hear this. He's my brother shit with Garcia and Peterson. These guys, they got the belts in your division. You have to go take them. Do you not want to? It's all about legacy. Do you not want to be a free weight world champion? Like I said, fuck this Molina shit. At least fight Humberto Soto then. If you're going to fight anyone, at least he's someone who's actually on a good win streak. But Molina's lost his last two fights. He lost to Matisse and he lost to this guy, so I'm not hyped for that. But yeah, Garcia Peterson, I think that's actually going to be a catchweight. I don't know if you guys know that, but rumor is it's going to be a catchweight. So I'm going to be like 150, 45 or something like that. 144.
143. 143. I'm hearing. But people in the chat, saying
Garcia
that
can't make the weight no more.
People in the chat saying though that is the titles going to be on the line then, or what? What's the situation with the titles?
Yeah, they'll put the titles up. But I think that's going to be Garcia's last fight before he steps up to 147.
I don't think
it can't be for the title unless it's at 140 or below.
So then that's bullshit again. Like, Peterson already lost the title but didn't lose it against Matisse. Now he might lose it again but keep it against Garcia, man. Like, this is just, it's ridiculous.
No, they have to strip him after that. They
should strip him before.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah, I agree.
Because they paid off that Postol guy as well, not is mandatory for the WBC. They
sidestepped.
And that what's his name? That top rank fighter's got the WBA regular. So.
So I'm misunderstanding. Is this still for the light welterweight belt, even though it's at 143?
That can't.
Boxrec says it's still up, but obviously I don't know. That's not official, but I think they will be. Well, it's going to be a 12 round anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But what's the other fight? Yeah, Furman Guerrero. That's the one I'm hyped about. I can't wait to see Guerrero get knocked out.
Yeah.
No, I used to be quite high on Furman. I think Guerrero's got a great chance.
Maybe not knocked out actually, but I've still got Furman definitely winning. Furman, because
I think Chu's going to lose.
I think Guerrero's on decline, man. I think he's sliding. The way he went life and death with that Kameda guy, Kama guy. I can't see it. I think he ain't going life and death with Furman. I know that, sure.
I think Chu's going to lose a lot of points in the prediction league when these fights happen.
Chu, if you want to go Guerrero, you can ride with him.
Nah, I think Furman will win, but he'll be on his bicycle. I think he's protecting something fragile. It's just me being honest. You know, I was a big Furman fan.
Say it.
You know, I was a big Furman fan.
Say your saying, man. Say your catchphrase.
I see the glass in him. I see the chandelier on his chin. And I think if Guerrero catches him, that'll be the question. I don't think he will. I think Furman's too fast for him.
Yeah, I don't think Guerrero's got the power either. I don't think he's even got the power.
I think he can punch a bit.
Yeah. I don't know. Not a welterweight. I don't think so, because he's kind of blown up. I think Guerrero.
Yeah, I agree with you there. No, you may be right. Yeah. I think it'll be tough though. I put it this way: one guy will be chasing, and you would think it would be the guy with the power, which is Furman, but it won't be. He'll be going backwards. Guerrero will be coming forwards.
Well, he's a boxer puncher, man. He knows how to. He can box when he wants. That's why I like him. He's a boxer puncher. But
I guarantee you that Furman will be going backwards in that fight.
I just actually checked BoxRec, and BoxRec's got it down as they're fighting for the WBA belt. So I don't know if WBA's opening up the regular belt for Furman. I don't know if you guys know about that.
So I don't know. I don't follow those belts.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Yeah, so, well, to be honest, I've been saying that for a while. I was surprised they haven't done it for him yet, because obviously, he's been getting avoided by guys, so Furman will be a WBA regular champ. Obviously, we don't really rate the regular belt, but when the super champ is Floyd and Floyd decides who he wants to fight, there's not really much you could do. So I'd class him really as a champ.
Yeah.
By the way,
you guys.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
Don't you?
That's just the belts being greedy. You know, the ranking organisations that want their cake and eat it.
Getting those fees.
They want that pay-per-view money.
Well, this will be the time to open up the belt for him anyway, because he's fighting. Finally, someone's stepping up to fight him. He's fighting legit. Can you really call Guerrero top 10? I'd say top 15.
I'd say Guerrero's top 10.
Yeah, he's fighting a top 10 welterweight, so this is
All
the
right.
time to open up.
All right, guys.
I'm not going to say actually. I'm going to say top 15, man. I don't think I can give him that.
I would have said 15 as well, but let me just give my quick
Welterweight's
thoughts.
not that deep anymore, you know. It's not that deep a division anymore.
True. All right, let me quickly give my thoughts on the Haymon situation and these fights. Ness had that spontaneous show when this news got broke, and I kind of agree with what Vic was saying and with what a lot of callers were saying, and I know King J phoned up and he said the same thing, that we're kind of going to remain skeptical because this is Haymon's MO, you know, to kind of go over to a new network, give us some nice, tantalizing fights, we all kind of get fooled again, and then he gives another shit year to us. For me, these fights are great that are happening. I'm looking forward to them. I disagree with Ari. I think the Molina-Barona fight is a decent fight. I do like John Molina. His performance against Humberto Soto was shit. I agree with that. But he put up a great effort against Matisse. I think the DeMarco fight was unlucky, man. I don't think that should have got stopped. But going back to the fights in general, the good fights, but these fights, if you look all of them, they should have happened last year. So we're kind of getting them delayed. We're getting them, but they're really 2014 fights.
They've been over marinated. That marination might have gone off a bit.
There was too much salt in the marination, I think.
Far too much. I might add a bit more salt on in a second.
Can I ask you guys something? One quick thing. I've been seeing something about this Premier Boxing Champions. Is this the new promotion that Haymon's opened up, or what's going on? Like,
yeah, Premier Boxing.
No, it's just the name of the show, kind of like World Championship Boxing.
Yeah.
On HBO,
or like Boxing After Dark.
Friday Fight Night. Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Yeah, but Haymon's really, he's walking a fine line at the moment with this manager and promoter shit, because all he needs to do is find someone to be the face for him, find someone who's got a license. Obviously, the plan was Schaefer, but Golden Boy make sure Schaefer doesn't get away, without a fight. So
good.
They need someone to be the face of this, because obviously Haymon can't do it, even though it's basically Haymon who's running it.
He weren't even at the press conference. Like
he was there, but you couldn't see him, right? That's what I was saying.
He's in the back. Yeah, he must be backstage.
For a company to kind of like go along with that, you think NBC would want to have the top brass being involved in the press conference, But
this is my whole problem with it. This is the point I've come to. I can't be giving out no fucking medals for someone who's just started doing their job properly. That's all he's done. He's done his job to a reasonable standard, given us good fights, and he's just done his job professionally and properly for the first time in a year. So whenever people are like going, "Oh, thanks, Al Haymon, thank you," I'm not thanking him yet. He's just shown me a little bit of leg.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And you know what? This isn't like he's made you. This isn't like he's made you a steak or something. It's like you've been on a diet for a year and then you get to eat like a cheese sandwich. You know what I mean? It's like a treat. Thurman against
some
Guerrero.
knickknacks, and I don't want
It's not a great fight.
I see your analogies.
When you start doing, I'm not quite on your level yet, True, with the analogy. When you start doing fights like Garcia against Furman, that's when I'll start giving you praise. Like, you start doing fights like that. Broner against Furman.
I don't know. This is I don't want to talk about promoters. I don't know why I should be giving any of them praise. Just do your job and be quiet. Promote the fights. I'll see you at the presser. I don't want to talk about you, any of you, and that goes for all of them. I don't want to hear from you unless it's a week before the fight. Until then, just shut up and go away. I want to
going back
to fighters.
What we were saying about, and Harmada was saying about how he used to like Hearn. Like, I think a lot of people got behind Hearn basically because he was just doing like what he was supposed to do. Because Warren fed us shit for so long that just something like a little bit better was so good. It's the same deal with Haymon. Now he just serves us shit, and then when he gives us something that's not shit, it's like everyone's cheering for him.
I've said this
No,
before. Sorry, Hammond. I've said this
go
before.
on.
Sam Watson is Al Haymon. Think about it.
Yeah, I love that. Was it
Usual
Usual Suspects?
Suspect.
Yeah, I love that one.
Just think about it.
Yeah, Hamada, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I think this time, on this NBC thing, Haymon has no option but to deliver, because now he's putting his money up now. He's got people backing him, people putting money in, and he has to deliver now. Because remember, he's paying the network, whereas before it was the networks paying him, so he could do pretty much what he wants. But now, if he fucks around, he's fucking around with his own money and fucking around with the people that are investing in him. And let's face it, like, the American public should be happy. Obviously, I don't live in America, so I couldn't care less, so I'm just going to stream the fight anyways. But they should be happy, because at the end of the day, Haymon is the only one putting his money up. You don't see Golden Boy, Top Rank and Co. trying to bring boxing back to terrestrial TV. If anything, they will go around saying, we need the networks, we need Showtime, we can't do it without Showtime, we can't do it without HBO. Like, over here, we got Eddie Hearn saying, we can't do it without Sky, we can't, like, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I'll give him some credit for that, but I just don't want to talk about promoters too much. That's my thing. I'm just glad he's given us some fights that we can have some good shows about, and it will be fun to talk about. But I want that to continue. I want all the promoters to give me good fights as often as possible, and then we don't have to talk about them, do we? You just talk about good fights. That's all I want.
I'll tell you what, the good thing for you guys is going to be is that I think 6 of the shows are going to be at 2 p.m. Pacific time, which is basically 10 p.m. for you guys, like when this show starts on a Saturday night. So it's not going to be like the mega fights, but you could see some pretty good boxing on at a decent hour, not staying up until like 5 a.m. like you're used to.
Rob,
I'm getting too old for that shit.
Rob, why is that? Is that because they don't want to clash with other sporting events, or?
I don't know. I just think that apparently, like back in the day, like boxing used to always be shown in the afternoon on NBC. That was like how they used to do it.
Yeah, they used to have
I guess
fights.
that's part of the deal. So the deal is they. Yeah, go on, Leon.
No, so they used to have them on in the day over here as well. Back like when I was really young, used to get Saturday afternoon fights over here.
Yeah, we don't remember that.
It's traditional.
We don't remember that, Leon. We're not as old as you.
Yeah, the 1890s, Cam.
But it's so 5 of the fights are going to be like NBC, like prime time. That's probably when he's going to do the big fights, like what the 2 cards that he's announced. But I'd imagine the other sort of 15 cards will be more like your Andre Durrell against somebody, or Rances Barthélemy against someone. Because I mean, Haymon's got a lot of big guys, but he's got 150 fighters. Some of them are just like dark fighters. Like,
we're potentially, if you're saying that, we're only going to get 6 good cards out of him a year.
Yeah, I mean,
big cards.
If you think about it, how many good cards do Top Rank and Golden Boy put?
Oh no, absolutely, but yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect, other than the big NBC cards. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. It's just kind of like guesswork, isn't it? But I'd say the 5 NBC cards are going to be when he has his big names. Probably Wilder will be one coming up. Like, that makes so much sense. But the other cards will be for his like lesser champions, like your Andre Durrells and your
Bertos,
whoever else. Yeah, Berto, those kind of guys. Still like good. If he matches the fight as well and they're in good fights, then it's not an issue. It might also work out for, like he was going to do, like apparently they're doing Jamie McDonnell against Kameda, and say if Groves against Andre Durrell takes place, Anthony Durrell, takes place, and it's one of the 2 p.m. cards, then it's like, it's good for UK TV and US TV,
It would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Cool. Anyone else got any thoughts on this subject before we move on to Rios Alvarado, then final thoughts, and then good night?
Yeah, I think just last thing you were talking about last week about Adrian Broner's weight gain. I think he's like you guys said last week, he's a knockout waiting to happen, and I I don't think it'll be this fight, but he'll get before his career's over, he'll get knocked out badly.
He's got fat genetics like his dad. Like that, you can't. Some people they'll get to like 27, 28, and they just gain weight. They just don't stop.
But he's got to lose a lot of weight in the next 2 months, you know.
Yeah, that fight is close. It's less than.
How much is that? 30 pounds.
I'd say more than that. He looks like 180, you know.
At least.
He might be dehydrated. He might need some salt.
To lay off the ragu.
He might need some salt after that dehydration. I've got some salt for him.
You got too much salt for him.
I've got plenty of salt.
All right, guys. Let's get on to next week. I mentioned it earlier. There's not much boxing. We got this Rios Alvarado 3. Then we go to Ari. Who are you picking, Ari, and why?
I'm not sure yet, you know. I was actually surprised this fight came around so quick.
It's kind of crept up quickly, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crept on. I only realised when I went on the coalition and saw that, you know, what the fights were. I really don't know, man. I think at the moment I'm going to go Rios because Alvarez had some problems. And I don't know what his mind state's like. Rumours is he's still smoking and stuff like that, so I'm going to go with Rios, even though I hear, again, Rios, on the other side, I hear stuff about Rios as well, where he might not be fully fit, shit like that, so I really don't know, man. Both of them, to be honest, I'm not really hyped for it, but I'm going to go with Rios, so I'll say Rios decision.
Okay. That's one thing I want to mention, because people have tweeted me regarding the predictions league, asking if once they've made their prediction, can they change it? And you can change it as many times as you want until the timer runs out. So if you make your prediction on Tuesday and then watch the weigh-in and think, shit, fuck, nah, I'm going for the other guy, you can still go back and change your prediction. That's not an issue. So let me quickly get to Rob, because you got to go, Rob. What's your thoughts on this fight?
I actually think Alvarado's going to win, unless he's really got a lot of problems in the build-up, like people are saying. But if you watch the second fight, he really did completely outbox Rios for the majority of it, and I can't see how Rios is going to make any adjustments to stop that happening again.
Yeah, I got to agree with Ari, man. I think I'm going to go for Rios. I might wait until after the weigh-in, but Alvarado, this was actually one question I wanted to ask to you all, and I just remembered it. Whose loss was worse? Do you think Rios being a punching bag for 12 round against Pacquiao was worse, or do you think Alvarado getting demolished by Provodnikov was worse? Chu, what do you think?
Alvarado's loss was worse because he got knocked the fuck out in front of his own fans.
Yeah,
and that was a bad one.
Yeah,
I
agree.
Are we on to this fight now? Is that next week?
Yeah,
yep.
This is Saturday night.
Fucking hell, we'll give it 2 minutes.
No, we're still talking about it. It's just I want to have your view on that question. I want to see, because I agree with you.
Yeah. I think Alvarado's done.
Leon?
Yeah.
Do you think...
Yeah, I think getting beaten up by Pacquiao for 12 rounds will do more damage in the end.
Nah, I see your point. I just think, like Chu says, that Alvarado was on his home ground. It was his first defense of the title, and he just kind of got demolished by Provodnikov. I think that was a worse beating than, at least Rios didn't get dropped. I know he was a punch bag and he just got the piss taken out of him, but he didn't get dropped. He was still there at the end of the fight.
Yeah, I see. But I don't. Yeah, neither. It looked good for neither of them, did it? Really?
No, but
but yeah, I think the Pacquiao won.
Okay, and with the fight, the trilogy on Saturday, are you gonna go for Rios or are you gonna go for Alvarado?
I haven't watched that Road to Nowhere, they should be calling it.
To be honest, it wasn't that good. He didn't really learn much, to be honest.
Well, no, I've got my mate who I'm trying to convert into a hardcore fan, so I hooked him up with Simbros and stuff, and he watched that, and he texted me the other day and was like, "Who is this crackhead?"
And I was like, which one? Which
one?
Yeah. But he said, I was like, Alvarado. He thought Alvarado just looked a mess. So I'm picking Bam Bam for this. I think he might knock him out.
I'm picking probably decision, but I could see a stoppage as well. Like, I watched the first and the second fights yesterday.
Yeah, I watched them over the weekend as well.
Go on, Leon. We did the same thing. We did some research.
Yeah. Did some research, and Bam Bam did. I mean, that first fight is a great fight, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
It's a great fight.
It's just
I'm hyped for it because I think it's a great trilogy, you know, and I know it's about levels, and they're on a similar level. So they both fights were good.
It's weirdly it's weird, Leon, because before the weekend I was like tweeting out stuff like there's no hype about this fight at all, no one's bothered about it. But soon as I watched the two fights yesterday, I'm proper hyped up about this fight now. It's just really weird, man. But it all depends if Alvarado can do what he did in the second fight and decide to box him and just keep that jab pumping in Rios' face. You know, like Rios cuts the ring off so well, but if he can repeat what he did in the second fight, then he'll win it. But
it's a 50-50. I don't think anyone should be eating any crow for picking the winner or loser on this one, because it's like, you know, it's a flip of a coin, isn't it? You just don't know what shape either of them are going to turn up in, and you don't know what fight Mike Alvarado is going to fight. Because his thing is, he gets hit, he goes into war mode, doesn't he?
Yeah, and for me, like, at least Rios is coming off a win, and I know it was a disqualification win because Diego Chavez just was playing dirty, but like Alvarado's coming off two losses. You know what I mean? Like, one really bad loss, and then the loss to Marquez, and he's been quite inactive, and he's having these issues with the law and getting arrested and shit. So that's why I'm favouring Rios, and also I think Rios has a better trainer, man. I'm a big fan of Garcia, and like Alvarado's trainer says his trainer from like the back in the day, you know. So it's like Garcia's got a lot more experience than Alvarado's trainer, so that's another reason for me. But,
I think he'll have a good Garcia will get a game plan for him.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to make the same mistakes that they made in the second fight.
Yep. All right, Chu, who you picking and why?
Yeah, I've got Rios. I think Rios will. It will just be like who can swing at each other the most. It'll just be like a kitchen sink fight with a lot less skill than the previous two. And I think that Rios will knock him out late. And I don't know why I just think Alvarado's done. I think whatever was left of his soul, Marquez took. So Rios will just piss all over the ashes.
I'm torn between decision and late stoppage, to be honest, but maybe I'll decide after the weigh.
Well, I mean, Alvarado could outbox him, but I can't see it. I think his movement's gone. Like he was just walking into shots against Marquez, and Rios is no Marquez, but you know, Rios has got power, and if he catches him, I think Alvarado's chin's gone, and I think that's the most important thing that will keep him at least competitive against Rios. And if Rios catches him, I think he'll finish him. And that'll be that.
Nice. Hamada, what's your thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, I told you earlier I'm picking Rios. I think I'm a bit torn. I don't know which to choose, the late stoppage or the points win, but I can see Alvarado quitting on his stall. I can just see him thinking, do I need to be getting beaten up and all of this? And like he quit against Provodnikov, to see it happening. I don't think Alvarado has a chance, really. He needs to bring his gun if he thinks he's going to win tonight. That's the only way I think he can win. I don't think he's got a chance, to be honest, but yeah.
All right.
See, the thing is, like, these guys are like best friends on Twitter. Not best friends, but they're being friendly. So, I want to see the mind games. This is meant to be a big rivalry. I want to see Brandon Rios come to the ring on an SUV. You know what I mean? I want to see some needle, some hatred. but I don't see that. I think they're too nice to each other. Maybe they'll put their foot off the pedal if they've got the chance to knock one of the other guy out. I think they've got too much respect. Kind of like Gatti and Ward did, you know, like they don't want to hurt each other now. They just want to get that money. So I don't know if it'll be a stoppage. It'll probably be a decision, I think.
I don't think there'll be mind games. I think they're both dumb. They're both. They've been punching. They're just punching bags. I don't think they've got the capacity to play mind games.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, right. This is their cash outfit.
Cool. Guys, you guys got any topics you want to cover before we go? Anything you've read in Box Rec or...
Has Ari not made his pick?
Yeah, Ari made it before.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm losing.
Yeah, I picked Rios.
You picked Rios, yeah.
But I heard some stuff about, is it Haymon signing Butte or some shit like that?
Yeah, I was going to mention that. That's that Kovalev fight gone then.
That's Stevenson's next fight, that, isn't
Who
it?
the fuck wanted to see him fight Kovalev anyway?
No. He'll fight Stevenson, won't he? So.
Oh, even more. Is he serious? Did he not lose his last fight?
Well, why else would he sign him?
Canada love, innit?
It's a big Canadian fight. You're right.
Yeah.
That's exactly why they fought. Yeah, you're right. Because it's funny. He's lost to Pascal. He's not as good as Stevenson, but he's still the big money fight in Canada.
Yep.
Like he sells the most tickets. Like he's got the biggest fan base over there for some reason.
Yeah.
But any other news?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Who is Mark Breland?
Don't start that here, Chu. Don't start that.
Let's not get to that.
He needs to leave. Why to drop him?
I mean, no, but seriously, who is Mark Breland? Am I a fucking bad boxing fan for not knowing that?
Well, you're not American, so maybe you could get away with it.
Your amateur fights.
I love all these boxing fans kidding on that they know who fucking Mark Breland is before this fight. I fucking love that. I think they'll be... shout out to Chinaman I asked, and Tony Bellew, but who is Mark Breland? I'm winning it. You guys knew?
Cricket's come.
I heard about him, apparently.
That's how we do over here, man. It's all fun and games, man.
I even heard the fight doctor on the show last night saying...
Who the fuck's that?
Some guy who calls into the boxing voice.
Harry knows.
I like that wee jab.
Getting a bit salty.
And he's like, he's a member of the 1984 Olympics team, as if everyone fucking knew. Like, I don't have a fucking clue. And sorry, I'm one of these. I have no idea who he was. But he's a very good trainer, right?
Okay, let's move on.
What about Lucas Brown? Okay, Lucas Brown might be after that Wilder fight, you know.
He ain't gonna do shit.
I think Wilder would take that fight.
He's a statue in the ring.
I think Wilder would take that fight as well, you know, because I think that's a winnable.
Yeah, of course he will.
It's a winnable
he thinks
fight.
Stivern's got slow feet. Brown's a bloody statue in the ring. He can't. Jesus Christ, he's a bouncer. He's used to standing still and blocking doors. That's what he is.
Doesn't Lucas Brown remind you of a heavyweight version of Shawnee Monahan?
Nah, man, you're wrong for that one.
Kev's after you now, man. Kev's after you.
He's an affiliated fighter to the show, man. You can't be talking like that. Ahmad, you're trying to get kicked out.
I'm just telling how I see it, man. They look alike.
In terms of physical appearance?
Yeah, they look alike to me.
Nah, man.
I'm telling Kev that you're calling his boy a fatty.
Come after you, Mahada.
Lucas Brown's actually good.
Lucas Brown is terrible, man. Lucas Brown's just got power and that's it. He's got no technical ability at all, man.
He could punch. I like the way he knocked out
he's
Richard
slow.
Towers, man.
He's very slow.
Yeah, but I like the way he knocked out Richard Towers.
Yeah, but Richard Towers, man, he's terrible, man.
Richard Towers.
Richard Towers.
Yeah, you're reaching now, Hamada, man. You're reaching, bro. But let's just
hope the Fury fight is made, man. Let's just hope Fury's right. I don't want to hear about bloody Brown.
Nothing for something said in the chat. Brown looks for one shot of whiskey. And the scariest part about Lucas Brown is his first name. Because all you think is Matisse. You don't... I mean, that was a bad one.
Yeah, that was poor.
That'll be the end of the show, I think.
I'm just going to get everyone's final thoughts because I think Dan's trying to jump on, but I don't know if he's going to be listening or if he's going to be talking. So I'll go to you, Hamada. Have you got any final thoughts?
None. Thank you very much.
All right, cool. Leon, you got any final thoughts?
Yeah, Froch, just give up that belt and let the girl get on with it. You salty bastard.
I think Dan is there. Dan, are you on the line?
Yeah, what's up, guys?
What's happening, Dan?
What's Gucci?
What's Gucci, Dan?
What's Louis, bro?
Yo, Dan, did you catch any of the fights on the weekend?
Of course, man. I just watched the Imam fight a couple minutes ago, but of course everyone's talking about the Deontay fight, right?
Yeah, what was your thoughts?
Yeah, man. I thought it was a fun fight, man. I know Kev was complaining about it, like the lack of skill. But like a lot of people mentioned, it's a heavyweight fight, right? And just that excitement of not knowing, who's going to land what and what kind of impact any punch can have at, any moment of the fight. To me, that's what's missing in the sport. And I fucking enjoyed it, man. Like it was sloppy as shit. You can go on and on about Deontay not being technically sound or whatever, but it was still a fun ass fight. And I think I just learned to accept, like, Deontay has a great personality and I think he's going to do a lot for the sport. Yeah. And what do you call it? Have there been any official numbers that's been released in the past couple of days, or?
Kev phoned in earlier and he's seen some figures around the 1.3 million mark being floated about. So
that's on Showtime, right?
Yep.
That's fucking crazy. Didn't AB versus Taylor do like $1 million?
Yeah, it did.
Damn. Yo, that's fucking crazy, man. Like, I would never have had such lofty expectations for a fight. But hey, man, that kind of gives credence to the whole idea, right? That people care about big guys fighting each other, right?
Definitely. I need to thank you as well. I need to thank you, Dan, for helping me change my mind and change my pick and go for Wilder.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Dan, are you in the prediction league?
No, man. I don't watch enough fights, dude. Like, I only watch like a fight every month nowadays with work and everything. So, no, man.
And do you know who Mark Breland is?
He is an author, right? Didn't he write Huckleberry Finn?
He did. I thought that was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh yeah. No, but he's Deontay's trainer, like a former welterweight champ. Is that Mark Breland?
Oh yeah, him. Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, man. But yeah, dude, like honestly, dude, like that was a fun ass fight. Like the first 6 rounds of the fight, I was on my feet. Just the fact that like Deontay is just so fucking sloppy. I thought Stiverne was gonna knock him out, even after that 4th round that Deontay had, or whatever round it was, where Deontay was close to dropping Stiverne. I thought Stiverne was gonna catch him just cold. So.
They both gassed by about. They started to gas around round 6, didn't they? It just all slowed down about round 6.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And
good fun fight for 6 rounds.
Yeah, and anyone who honestly entertains like a Klitschko Deontay fight being competitive or viable, like get the fuck out of here, dude. Klitschko would fucking destroy Deontay.
Would annihilate him.
That's easy work right there.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people. Come on, Chu.
Chu's jumped on the train down hard.
Let me present my standpoint. I think people bring up the fact that Deontay is an inch or 2 taller than Wilder. Dude, Wilder is a fucking man compared to Deontay. That's a man versus a boy right there in terms of weight.
You mean Vlad?
Yeah, Vlad, my bad. Any Klitschko. So, yeah. That's like a 30-pound differential, and Klitschko can just, rest on him like he does with everyone else, in my opinion.
I think that Wilder has got the power to hit the reset button on Klitschko's chin.
Reset button. Malfunction.
He's got that Eastern European get-out clause on his chin.
Yeah, but what if that left hook lands on Wilder? He'll crumble.
Of course.
He'll
I agree.
fold like a deck
It'll
chair.
mostly be who lands the first big punch.
Right.
And
honestly, true.
My money will be on Vlad.
He's got
You're
better
gonna
defense than
take
Wilder. Not Wilder.
Vlad.
Huh.
What are you saying, Dan?
Benny? Cool, man. Hey, my bad. Yeah, honestly, going back to that, dude, Vlad does everything better than Deontay. Like, everything. He's more concise, or not concise, but precise. You know, like, how's that even a comparison, dude?
He also ages better. He's an old man. By the time he gets round to fighting Wilder, he'll be 40.
You're saying he ages better?
Yep.
Okay.
No,
He does age better. That's why he's preserved so well.
No. What my point was, you know what my point was?
Nah, I know.
old
I'm
man.
being disingenuous. Like
You're
you.
being disingenuous. This
say.
is like
I'm
coalition
being
bingo.
disingenuous.
These
I just want to say,
minutes.
I miss you guys, man. I miss being on the show, dude.
When you come on back to this, Dan?
I don't even want to talk about boxing. I just want to talk about your personal lives, you know, how you guys are doing. You know, any new hobbies you guys? Any new hobbies you guys took up?
We do that shit later, man.
How your New Year resolutions going? Come on, dude, talk to me.
Dan, they're saying black hole in the chat.
Oh man, but yeah. Anyways, back to that thing with Deontay, man. I guess I have a question to pose to you guys. You think Haymon is going to babysit Wilder, or do you think the fact that Haymon is making such, large moves with NBC and potentially CBS now that he's going to up the ante and also up Wilder's opposition in the future?
Can I know I'm being greedy here. I just want to answer. I think Al Haymon makes all his fighters sign a new contract with a big bonus payment on one condition: he takes your firstborn son. That's what
Like
he done
Leo.
with SantaCruz.
That's why they did with that.
He takes your firstborn son. You have to name it after Al. After that, you can do what you want.
Okay, all right. Well, regardless, I don't know. I don't think who's option for Deontay next? Like, who would you guys be satisfied with? Like, is Tony Thompson? Is that acceptable?
Nah, he's just announced a fight anyway, isn't he? But maybe when is that?
Yeah, that's in February 27th, I think. I think he's rematching Solis.
I would be happy with that.
Yeah?
No, I wouldn't be.
You wouldn't be?
No.
To answer your question, Dan, I think he will kind of get mollycoddled again, and I think Wilder won't have another test for at least a year, 18 months, I think.
Mm-hmm. He's going to get the cannon next, isn't he? Cannon.
They'll get small guys in with him. I don't think they'll put anyone his size up against him.
Right. Yeah.
They must only try
I don't know.
Now that I think about it, they might try put Cunningham in with him if Cunningham wins his next fight.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Cunningham, that would be a bullshit fight, man.
I don't think Diva would want to work with him, would she? Because of the NBC thing? Or? She probably would, though, to be honest.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
But if it's a big money fight for him.
Yeah, I think she's a good businesswoman. I think if the money was right, I think she'd do the deal, to be honest. She seems like she's clever like that, so.
Right, that's fair. What do you call? I don't know, man. Like this, I don't say this with any kind of evidence to support my claim, but I've always felt like Haymon puts his fighters in tough when they're presented an opportunity to get a belt, but afterwards, once they actually have that belt, that's just coasting right there. Like he doesn't give a shit who they fight after the fact.
Yeah, no, you're right. He'll go for a belt. He'll go for a belt.
Like Quillen.
Yeah,
like Quillen, right?
And who else? He put Gary. He let Gary Russell go for the belt.
Yeah, exactly. You should be my fucking lawyer, man, because that's exactly how I feel. I feel like Deontay is just gonna fight shit opponent after shit opponent, dude.
Depends how strong these the alphabet, the belt, the alphabet belt people are. If they force mandatories, we might get some fights. I mean, he made the mandatory with Porter Brook, didn't he?
Yep.
But let's see.
That's true.
Let's see.
Man, that a Deontay Fury fight is fascinating. I'd love to see that fight.
What a fight.
I'd love to see that. That has 50-50 written all over it.
It's a great fight. We won't see it for a couple of years, though.
I know, unfortunately.
18 months. Yeah, probably.
Yep. Cool, man. You guys, this is a long-ass show. Just a lot of stuff happened, huh? A lot of things came into fruition the past week.
Yeah, there was all NBC stuff, and then we had a lot of callers as well. But Dan, I want to a lot of people always ask me about on Twitter about why is Dan not on the show and stuff. So, seeing as we got you on, let's fire some questions at you and see your responses. I want to just finish with that card. What was your opinion on the LSC's performance and also the Amir Imam fight? What did you think of them two?
Dude, the Imam fight was fucking awesome. I didn't watch a LSC fight because honestly, I don't give a shit about him anymore. I used to be a big Santa Cruz fan, but after all of the bullshit that he's pulling off, I can't support him anymore. Yeah, so just fuck LSC and fuck anyone who names their son or daughter after their promoter. That's so stupid on so many levels. But regarding the Imam fight, that was an awesome fight. Who knows, man? Maybe the disallegiance between what do you call it, Espinoza and Haymon. I can't say it's a good thing, honestly, because it kind of renders their stable completely useless. Like, Showtime has no one on the network now, right? So they probably are going to suffer for a while, but that was a great way to start the year, man. Like, I was fucking excited. You know, I was watching that fight with a couple casual fans, and like, dude, they were pumped, man. Like, they really enjoyed that fight, so that's always a good sign, right?
Definitely. A few people are asking me to ask you about the whole Canelo Cotto situation. And obviously, maybe possible.
You guys know I'm really gay for Canelo, but at the same time, I can understand Canelo or Cotto's position, right? He wants a chance to rematch Mayweather, and I'm not giving it any credence. But at the same time, if you already lost to someone and you have another guy who you can fight, 5-10 years down the road, I mean, I would blame Cotto for taking a Mayweather rematch because that's not a fight I'm interested in, but. From a personal standpoint, I understand why he would undertake that fight over the other. Because Canelo is going to be there for a while. And also Mayweather probably presents a bigger purse, right?
Definitely.
It is what it is. Yeah.
That's my favorite word.
Yeah, man.
It is what it is. But also...
It is what it is, exactly. So.
Also, Dan, this whole NBC Haymon thing, and also the fights that got announced last week, Garcia Peterson, Brona Molina, Thurman Guerrero. What's your thought on the whole situation and any thoughts on the fights?
It's good. I mean, obviously, it's a good, indicator of things to come, but also it's not a good indicator because he might just be fooling us all, right? Who knows? Maybe a year down the road when things aren't going so well, that Haymon just completely blows it up, and we don't have these kind of fights anymore. And honestly, like, dude, the only fight that I'm really intrigued by of that entire card is that Thurman Guerrero fight. I think the other two are good fights, but they're not, upper echelon fights. But the fact that they're on free TV, that definitely helps. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. I'm skeptical, Cam. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really skeptical.
I'm totally the same. I mentioned it earlier that it's kind of Haymon's MO to move over to a new network and then kind of fool us and then give us shit fights. So I'm on the fence yet. I'm on the fence.
You're right. Yeah, you're right, man. Because I think, if he wants to go to that UFC style, that model, he's going to have to underpay his fighters a lot because, UFC fighters don't really get paid much. And I don't think, they'd be willing to do that. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I just feel like Haymon's trying to monopolize the sport. And then once he has, full control, he's just going to, continue what he's always done, right, with mismatches and whatnot. So
I agree.
Dan, cool, man.
The boxing schedule's not that loaded for the next couple of weeks. We have Alvarado Rios 3 on Saturday. Is it a fight you give a shit about? And if you don't, what's your overall?
No shits given, my man. None.
Not even one?
Oh, no, I don't care. Maybe like a small shit, but not a big shit. Like a 2-minute shit. That's all.
All right.
But
let's stop using the word shit. But anything else you want to touch on? Anything you've heard? Anything you've read?
No, man. Just enjoyed the show. Got to listen to it today, and hopefully I might be moving back to LA. So with that being said, hopefully I'll get a better schedule so I can finally go on the fucking show, right?
Fingers crossed, man. Seriously, all jokes aside, a lot of people on Twitter say that they miss having you on the show. So
yeah, man. Honestly, the show's been great though, dude. Like honestly, like it's been awesome to see how many fucking callers we have on the show now. So that's good stuff, dude.
Definitely, and definitely join into the Prediction League as well, Dan. It's quite easy to do.
Will do.
Get in there. All right, let me get back to
I'll see you guys later.
Cheers, Dan. Thank you.
Guys,
Chew, I didn't get your final thoughts before Dan jumped on.
Nah, no final thoughts, bro. But other than great show, mammoth, possibly the longest running show we've ever done.
I think it might be up there, you know. I think it might be up there. But Ari, is it worth me asking you for final thoughts?
Nah, man. But I'm surprised at the length of the show. We're really
went deep, man.
About one fight. We went deep, man.
Yeah,
so, shout out to all the callers who called in, you know. Respect to you guys riding with us, you know. All the Americans, I know it's like, what time's over there now? Like 7, 8, I guess. All the UK guys, it's 1:30 over here now, you know, we're riding deep, man. So yeah, respect to all you guys. Hopefully you keep riding with us, you know.
Yeah.
We do our thing over here, we have fun. We don't take ourselves seriously, you know. But
yeah, don't believe what Chew said. I'm not a Yankee. I'm not an American hater. Chew tried to throw me to the wolves earlier.
Dancing with wolves,
yeah, man,
you're Chris Eubank Jr.'s next opponent.
You can knock me out.
Nah, but shout out to Cam as well, because guys don't realise this is a 3-hour show. He'll be up for about another 3 hours fucking downloading the shit onto YouTube and all that shit, so shout out to him.
Nah, man, I love doing this show every week. I say it quite often that it's like meeting up with your friends on the weekend, and that's how I feel, man. Like, even though I've met a few of you guys, but I've still not met most of you, I do have that friendship feel, so definitely, man, we got a good thing here, so definitely going to try and keep it up. But guys, been a great show. People that phoned in, thank you for phoning. Guys in the chat, let me quick do a roll call. The chat's been strong. It's been like 50, 55 strong all show. Basilius, Casual Fan, Harvey29, The A-Side, The 17, Ari Gold Boss, Low Country, MV Chew, BRD Hey, Davies Lee 1, Monaco 78, The Chris Algeri Lifestyle, Adam Lane, TBE Chef, Nothing for Something, Nick G, Josh Zulo 90, Tony Bellew, Chinaman, Loma Usyk Klitschko, Hosley Dwyer, Death via Prozac, Black Ski Mash, Joe, D Segura, King J87 and 19 guests. Thank you everyone. We'll be back next week. Peace.
You just listened to the Boxing Coalition.
Dude, man, I love boxing. I fucking love boxing.
A big shout out to the Boxing Coalition.
You're a newbie.
No, I ain't new, man.
If my fucking next door neighbour became the #1 flyweight in the world, you know what I'd do? I'd fucking walk past the cunt.
Derek, how you doing, bro?
I was physically buying you, blood.
I disagree.
First time I hear the show, man, it was fucking badass.
Vamos Argentina, la concha de su madre.
I see the bomb in them.
I get home and it's like, what the fuck? Me and the kid are here. Why don't you get home and talk to us? I'm like, man, you guys don't know shit about boxing.
Kel, how does it feel to be the new IBF champion?
Feels great. Great.
Do we really dive into the black hole right off the jump?
I think he's hiding glass.
Just to play devil's advocate. You want 1 portion of crow or 2 portions of crow?
Give me 2 portions with a supersized fries and a large drink, please.
I can't stand him, what? I'm Scottish.
Fringe side?
But you won't brush Anthony fucking fat ass Joshua, would you?
He's not fat.
How about you tell us what you weighed for your final thoughts?
My weight?
Thank you for listening to the Boxing Coalition. We are live every Monday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. UK time, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern.